I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. Transforming how you feel about yourself is a very personal experience.
And the Blue Jays come into LA, take 2 out of 3 here, beating them tonight 6-1.
When your personal goal is to help other people achieve theirs, you must deeply understand the latest treatments.
Want to feel confident and comfortable? The difference is in the doctor.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott at drvanceelliott.com.
The Lawnmower Hospital.
Step into fall with Husqvarna and the Lawnmower Hospital. Husqvarna has chainsaws for the homeowner, farmer, rancher, or professional available in battery or gas-powered models. Take care of leaves quickly with the power of Husqvarna blowers. You'll find it all at the Lawnmower Hospital, and you can see the full selection at lawnmowerhosp.com.
We're more than repairs. We're more than mowers. The Lawnmower Hospital.
When you've just got to get your wings on, bring it on to
Game On.
Game On is Sherwood Park's new home for game night and good times. Every hump day is Wing Wednesday, and you know you're going to need extra napkins. Get your wings done the way you like with classic or signature sauces, or try them with a dry rub. Just 69 cents each, 25 flavors to choose from. And while you're here for Wing Wednesdays, you can enjoy $4 sleeves of Tilt Lager. So fly the coop and come to
Game On.
Game On Kitchen, Sports Bar, Arcade, Baseline Road, Sherwood Park.
Wendy's most important deal of the day has a fresh lineup. Pick any 2 breakfast items for $4. New 4-piece French toast sticks, bacon or sausage wrap, biscuit or English muffin sandwiches, small hot coffee, and more. Limited time only at participating Wendy's. Taxes extra.
Fall into savings at Wolf GMC Buick. For a very limited time, get 0% on every 2025 Buick and GMC, including the all-new Buick Envista, the Encore, Envision, and Enclave. For the GMCs, 0% on 2025s like the Sierra Half-Ton, Sierra HD, even the Yukons. Get 0% on all 2025s. Plus, get up to 84 months on the GMC Sierra Half-Ton Crew Cab. But like the leaves, these deals won't last long. Get into Wolf GMC Buick now. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Stradley. How would you like to join me and the superstars of hockey on an exotic holiday? Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters, you can attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Fernando Pisani, Kelly Buckberger, Ron Lowe, Gene Principe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. There's still time to get in on every hockey fan's dream cruise. Book now and save $500 per couple. The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. Price started at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
Visit cast.tours/Edmonton. Call 1-833-347-7678. Call now to book and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours, 1-833-347-7678.
The Jason Gregor Show.
And lifts to the corner from the swing. And rolls it. Got smashed into the boards. Made the play over. Jeff Rosselbeck showing one timer.
On Sports 1440.
21-2. Trying to right field. Diving catch. Barger. Addison Barger lays out for out number 1.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Jeff Hoffman finishes it off, and the Blue Jays come into LA, take 2 out of 3 here, beating them tonight 6-1.
Well, a happy Halloween, positive Friday edition of the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. And it is World Series. Game 6 tonight. Lots and lots on the line as the Toronto Blue Jays could win their 3rd World Series. The Dodgers are trying to stave off elimination and force a Game 7, which will go tomorrow night. If you can't watch the game, Maybe you're walking around with the kiddos. Be sure to get here at the Sports 1440. Tune in on the radio, and you can hear all of the action. 6:08 will be puck drop tonight for the Dodgers and the Blue Jays, and we are going to have lots and lots of talk about the World Series. Ricky Romero, former Jays pitcher, is going to join us in the first hour. We might even have another Jays pitcher joining us in the second hour. Greg Bozen will be by to talk Chicago Blackhawks. They're in town tomorrow night, take on the Edmonton Oilers. Saturday night, hockey night in Canada. It's always a fun atmosphere. Nick Prasad, a former Jays instructor, will be by in the first hour as well. So we got lots of baseball talk. Craig Button, Mark Spector, Low Tide will be by. Cam Tate with the 2-minute warning. Wanye Gretz will be by. Also, Timothy Noel is going to talk about an upcoming event next weekend. It should be a lot of fun in our fair city. So lots and lots to discuss on the show today. Also, you can get involved. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440 in our inbox. The Edmonton Oilers last night. You know what? Starts of being their issue. First 2 periods yesterday, pretty good. Third period, dogs breakfast. They got a power play. They had a chance to put the game away, and they sat back. They let the Rangers outwork them and actually gave up 2 2-on-1s on that power play. The Rangers didn't score, but they gained momentum, and Edmonton just could never really recover after that. That's another terrible loss. There's too many giveaways. Evan Bouchard, some bad reads on the overtime goal. Him and Draisaitl. It's self-inflicted wounds by the Edmonton Oilers. And now every team's going to make errors at some point. It just seems right now when the Oilers make an error, it's a doozy. It's not a little, you know what? Geez, the giveaway turned into them getting a weak shot on goal. No. The Oilers gave up 10 high danger chances. Every goal is a high danger chance last night. Now you would say, hey, your goalie won't save one, fine. Your goalie stopped 6 out of 10 high danger. At some point, can't give up that many. It's just, especially if the other team creates the high danger chance from hard work and execution, I can live with that. You're just like, hey, you know what? They were better. They made some plays. Well, that's not what I saw last night. The New York Rangers are a team where their bottom 6 right now is more productive than their top 6. And you lose to that team, like that's a bad loss. You go back to the Calgary game, bad loss. They've lost to some teams. New York Islanders, bad loss. You got the Chicago Blackhawks tomorrow night. You got to win that game. Point blank. It's Saturday night. The Blackhawks are the Chicago Blackhawks. Okay. They're 5-4-2. They're not a great team. By any stretch of the imagination. They lost in Winnipeg last night. That's a team you need to beat on home ice. No question about it. Wake up, play smarter, play harder, play better. Head coach talked about it. And they've got to reduce the turnovers, Leon. Draisaitl talked about it. Like at some point, you got to focus. Hey, Evan Bouchard admitted it. You know what? Hey, if it's game 1 or 2, it's game 12 now. It's not good enough. Now, the thing was on the third goal, Bouchard wasn't even really trying to make like a dangerous play or nothing. That one's actually probably a little bit unlucky, right? He goes to dump it out, hits the shaft of the guy's stick. Wasn't like he put it right on his tape. Wasn't like he was trying to dangerous cross-ice pass through the middle, which, the cross-ice pass on the first goal, like you got to be aware. It's Johnny freaking Brzezinski. You can't be giving up a cross-ice pass at the offensive blue line that results in a breakaway the other way. Just can't happen there. You know what they're going to do? Like they read that one like a novel. It's too easy. So we'll get your thoughts on that. It is. I understand that it's early, but at some point, it's early can't be the excuse forever. It just can't be. You got to be better. You need to be better. I understand that they've shown that they can be very good in the playoffs. I get all that. You got to get to the playoffs. And it's not a guarantee that you'll get there, right? It's not a guarantee. So I look at the Oilers last night and just their attention to detail, which has been an issue all season long, was an issue again last night, right? It just was. There's no way you can argue that. And so we'll see what they do and how they're going to get better, but they got to get better. There's no question in my mind that they've got to be more consistent. They've been giving up way too much right now for that team, and we'll see where it goes. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. The other thing is you got to find a way to start on time. Now, they were better. They gave up a goal, but they did recover and scored right after. So it wasn't an awful start by any stretch of the imagination. You've scored first once in your last 9 games. Once. Everybody knows the odds favor any team, even the bad teams, when you score first. And the Edmonton Oilers have scored first once in their last 9 games. It's not good. Right? Too many turnovers. And even though they had the lead going, and that's the other thing. Look at the game. So they had a 3-0 lead against Calgary, blew that. They had a 2-goal lead. Was it 2-1? They had a lead against Ottawa. They blew that. Blew a lead last night. Like, they've blown lots of leads here this season. That's not good. You've got to have a killer instinct. Put the teams away, especially the teams like the New York Rangers. The New York Rangers are not a dominant team by any stretch of the imagination. So we'll see where they go from there. So we'll talk about that. Also, we will discuss a lot about the World Series coming up tonight. Connor Halley is here along for the ride. Con man, what's your expectations heading into tonight?
Oh, man. I mean, I think the Jays, the blueprint's right there, but they got to find a way to get to Yamamoto. We know how good he was. We saw that in full showcase down in Los Angeles. So I think that extending at-bats, trying to wear him down by any means possible is massive, whether that's, fouling off a lot of balls, trying to get that pitch count up high. I don't know what his limit is, when they would take him out, because he didn't seem to slow down previously, but I think that's the key to it, finding a way to get to Yamamoto and hoping you get a good game from Gausman. We know he's in the past been kind of liable. He gives up home runs here and there. So try to limit that as well. But I can't wait to see the atmosphere out at the Sky Dome. It's going to be absolutely bonkers. Gregor, I'm setting up the TV for the trick-or-treaters and the parents walking with their kids. So if you're going to swing by, I'll have the game on so you can get some updates as well. But I'm thinking it's going to be a pretty fun game, hoping they get the job done.
Well, yeah. Who isn't cheering for? Well, I guess the Dodger fans aren't cheering. Dodgers are going to make some changes to their lineup. Ohtani's going to lead off. Then Smith. Freeman will be third still. Betts has moved down to the cleanup spot. He's hitting terribly. And they're pitting him cleanup. Then Teoscar Hernandez, Muncy, Kiki Hernandez, Edmund, Rojas, and away you go. So that's the order tonight for the LA Dodgers. The Blue Jays. Looking at their team, I would. It sounds like George Springer, I think, is going to be playing. I haven't seen. I'm just double checking. The Jays have officially put out. Yeah, Springer's leading off. Then Lucas, Guerrero Jr., Bichette, Varsho, Kirk, Barger, Clement, Jimenez. Kind of the lineup you would expect against a right-hander. And the Jays, obviously Yamamoto, he's good. He's gone back-to-back complete game wins in the playoffs. It's remarkable. It just doesn't happen very often. Now, the last guy to go 3 in a row was none other than Kurt Schilling, almost decades ago. So the Jays obviously do not want Yamamoto to be going the distance again, and we shall see. Hey, Gregor, did you make your outfit? Looks pretty good. No, I did not. But yeah. My mother-in-law, actually, I kind of have two. I have this is kind of like the Prince, but I also have the King one that has a big jacket. It's just it's unbelievable. She made it all, sewed all herself. And maybe we'll get a photo of it, of the full costume. But yeah, my mother-in-law, Cheryl, she made me this a few years ago, and it's unreal. Now the King one, the jacket is so heavy that I couldn't wear it all day in studio. I'd be dying. It's just too hot. So I'm going with the print, because it got kind of a Prince one. The King, if you saw the coat, you'd see why there's a King and then there's the Prince. So today I'm the Prince, a little bit back in time. So I almost kind of look like a jester, I wonder, a little bit too. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get a full body pic and we'll put it out there. So I got everything set up for Halloween. As you all know, I'm a big fan of Halloween. I love the trick-or-treaters coming to the house. It's awesome. and set up the table before I left. I'll put a picture of it out, going with full bars again. That's what I like to do. Do whatever makes you happy. I like the full bars. I always remind people, if teenagers are coming out to trick or treat, don't make them feel bad. You don't know what their situation is at all. And any adult knows those young years of your life where you don't have as many worries. Why would you want someone to grow out of that too? Oh, you're too old to trick or treat. Why? Like, who made the rules? Is there a trick or treating rule? I've never seen the guideline. Can't be this tall, can't be this old. No, I don't care. Like what? So short people can, because they look younger, can go forever? No, I don't care what age you are. If you're polite, come to the door, say trick or treat. How are you doing? Maybe go a little bit later, because I can tell you when the late trick or treaters come, I got any extra candy, I'm giving it to them because I don't want it sitting around my house because then I'm just going to eat it. Now I might keep one big Turk bar, of course, but for the most part, I give it away. But I know some people say, well, is it too old to trick or treat? If they want to trick or treat, let them trick or treat. Like, why do we try to be fun sponges and take it away? Because the truth of the matter is lots of kids like, I don't want to do it, but you might have the odd one or two who want to do it. So I have no problem with it. Cons, yeah, you're in a new neighborhood this year. Have you talked to your neighbors? Do you have any expectation of how many kids are coming to Chateau Halley tonight?
Well, we were there last year. We counted.
Oh, you were?
Yeah. It was a little bit of a different
you just
one.
Moved in.
Just moved in. So yeah, we were very uncertain. We had about 100 last year. So we're going to account for a little bit more than that. And if there's leftovers, I don't mind having it, Gregor.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to oblige. I'm try to get that first, aka the talkies by your house. That's what you're getting at first. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. It's the best time. So, and I agree with you. Hey, don't bug the teenagers. I was there being in grade 7 and having parents like, well, if you want candy, you got to sing. That's not going to be me. If you want candy, you come by our house.
Just
just
as
take
long
it.
as they say trick or treat and have a smile, that's good enough for me. How you doing? I always say, hey, what's going on? You know, older kids, I get it. They're, it's hard. Like the young kids are so excited, like, woo, whatever. But you know what? To me, it's have fun. I have our dog even has a little costume, so she's the welcoming wagon that always calms it down. So it'll be loads of fun tonight. Be sure if you're driving around to be safe, because remember when you were a kid, just how jacked up you were. You're probably not following the rules of the road as much. You might be wheeling across the street without looking both ways. So let's all be a little bit slower on the gas pedal when we're going through the residential areas tonight, just in case, due to the trick-or-treaters, which is loads of fun. Now, we are going to take a quick break. When we return, Ricky Romero will join us. We're talking Jays. We're talking World Series. We're talking unreal memories and more when we return. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can always get in the game. Use the promo code Gregor50. You make a $50 deposit or more and use the code Gregor50. Well, I'll give you another $50 at PlayAlberta.ca. And also it's Lotto Max tonight. $10 million. Good luck. PlayAlberta.ca.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Monopoly Double Play is back at McDonald's. So let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand and go.
Yes.
I said 25 grand.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Much better. Okay, now you just won a brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think she just fainted. Impressive. Feel like a winner on pack and in-app. Monopoly Double Play is back. While supplies last, 1 in 5 chances to win game piece prizes at outset. Chances to win draw prizes depend on number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes payable by e-transfer. See rules in-app.
Planning your next event? Let Loca Quality Market cater. From made-to-order meals to gourmet platters to full chef tasting experiences, they make entertaining effortless. Visit loca.ca to start planning today.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Winter in Alberta doesn't mess around.
And neither does Titan Supply.
For over 50 years, we've earned the trust of our customers across a variety of industries.
Because we lead with integrity,
honesty,
and respect.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Brent from Titan Supply. When the weather hits hard,
we're fully stocked with rigging, lifting, and hauling gear that works as hard as you do.
Titan Supply.
Built on trust, driven by safety.
Serving Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary.
Let us help you face the weather the Titan way.
Visit titansupply.ca.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and I know a lot about how RVs work. I post videos on Facebook every week showing the weak points and how failures can occur. But even I don't winterize my own RV.
What are you saying, Rick? You don't think you could do it?
Oh, sure, Bob, I could do it, but I couldn't do it at a professional level. When you expect your RV to survive the harsh northern Alberta winter, this is no place for hobbyists. And I don't service used RVs all day, every day. Instead, I hired people smarter than me to do that sort of work. That's the team that winterizes my trailer, the same team that'll winterize yours.
Your RV service team works 12 months of the year repairing and maintaining used RVs.
That's right, Bob. If you want your RV working right in the spring, the real work happens now, in the fall. Our winterization packages start at just $99, and that includes a full report in writing. No surprises, just the great outdoors waiting for you when the last of the snow melts.
And that's No Bull.
NoBullRV.ca. From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Northwest Crane, available for all your lifting and equipment needs, specializing in selling and servicing cranes. Get lifting at northwestcrane.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Oh, it's a Friday. We give you a little bit extra brass bonanza. How you doing? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you are having a fantastic day. Hey, it's World Series potential day. Tonight is the first time that someone could win the World Series in 2025, and the Toronto Blue Jays are at home. Now, if you're a believer in history, the Blue Jays did win their first two World Series also in Game 6. One on the road, the last one in 1993 at home. And they got two chances to do it. Obviously, they would love to do it in the first one tonight, as we are going to get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by the Spruce Grove Saints. They're back in action tomorrow night down at the Thompson Family Arena, taking on their crosstown rival, the Crusaders. So get your ticket, sgsaints.ca. It's tomorrow night. So Jays win tonight. Everyone celebrates. And then you go watch some hockey tomorrow. Be perfect. And we are joined by a gentleman who's going to be at the game tonight. He was in LA. I saw a post actually with his grandfather at the last game, and they're wearing their Jays attire, even though he's a California guy. That's the team that he, made his dream come true to play in the major leagues of baseball. Ricky Romero joins us. Ricky, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys? Thank you for having me.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on. It's great to have a pitcher on, because I think you can give us a great insight into both the pitcher and, at the batter side, because obviously I think you faced a lot of batters over the years. You kind of know a little bit what they're thinking. I want to get your first impressions as a young guy who went up through all the ranks. Think of trying to go through, single, double, triple A in the majors all in 1 year, and then doing what Trey Savage did in Game 5 of the World Series. Like, could you kind of comprehend just how difficult it is to achieve what he's done in 1 year?
It is really difficult. And I mean, when you look at what he's done in the body of work, I talked to somebody in their organization and they were like, yeah, we were trying to challenge him in low A. And then we said, okay, he passed that test. Let's challenge him in high A, pass that test. And he just kept passing all these tests. And I heard, in AAA, he hit a little bit of a bump and then he made the adjustment that he needed to make. And then boom, to the big leagues. And sometimes it's just being at the right place at the right time, right? I mean, the Blue Jays were coming off having 2 starters hurt, Chris Bassett and Jose Barrios. So who knows if if Trey Savage ever gets up to the big leagues, if those guys don't get hurt. They needed an arm. He stepped up to the plate and he hasn't looked back since. And when you look at what he's been able to do in the playoffs and the confidence and the smoothness of it all, even like when you listen to his interviews and just how confident he is, it's easy to root for the kid. And man, I'm telling you, to put him in Game 6, elimination game, last series for the ALCS, and then he came through, deliver, then throw Game 1. Game 1, I feel like was a big adjustment for him. Like it's like he was a little bit off command-wise, and then you saw last game how good he really was, and you're just like, man, like it is, the body of work is there. Everything about it is just unbelievable, and it's been so fun watching him continue to grow. I mean, at this point, he's got more postseason starts than he does regular season starts. So he's been so fun to watch. I mean, I had a close seat to him in LA and just watching, I mean, talk about 50,000 people or however many Dodger Stadium holds, literally like silent. And it just seemed like every single batter he faced, it was 0-1, 0-2, 1-2, 0-1, 0-2. And it's just, he was just on top of these hitters. And sometimes that's what you got to do to these good lineups. You just have to jump ahead, be confident in your pitches. And there was a point in the game where I saw Alejandro Kirk, and you don't really see this very much, mound visits. And there was a point in that game where he went out, talked to him, calmed him down, and then boom, pop up, got out of the inning. So it's the little things I feel like that the Toronto Blue Jays have done defensively and offensively. It's just little things pile up, and then they lead to positive things. And I think that's what they've done so well all season long.
Ricky Romero joins us, of course, former Blue Jays pitcher, a longtime MLB pitcher, made his pitching debut back in 2009. Cito Gaston was the manager with the Jays then. And, Ricky, you talked earlier about, having the command. And, I never pitched, right? So I have no real understanding of how, like, it looks extremely difficult to do, obviously. And so as a pitcher, you can have your command. What causes you sometimes to just be off for a bit? And, we saw you, Savage, maybe it was command, but he's still battling. He still grinds. When you're off, how do you still battle? What's the things a pitcher has to do?
I think that's where mentally you have to be really strong. You have to just know that sometimes, when you're a starting pitcher, or even just an athlete in general, sometimes you're not going to have your best stuff, especially pitchers, obviously. You're not going to have your best stuff, but it's how you deal with it mentally. And I think that's where he's really, really, that's what's really, really impressed me about him. It's what's in between the ears. Like that first game, he went 4 innings and he even said it, his command was off. He was a little bit off. And sometimes it's just the excitement, right? I never pitched in the playoffs, so I can imagine what was going through his mind. A kid, like you mentioned earlier, he started in low A and now he's pitching Game 1 of the World Series. You could just see the excitement and sometimes mechanically he looked a little bit off. But we always say baseball is a game of adjustments, and he got another crack at it, and he made those adjustments. And boy, I tell you, he made that Los Angeles Dodgers lineup look silly.
Yeah. Rick, you're a guy who, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was in your second year, you had 12 Ks multiple times, including one in a complete game. When you're in a zone, like 12 Ks, it was crazy to me. It's a rookie. He's the first guy to ever do it. He's the first guy to ever have 12 Ks in a playoff game and not have any walks, right? Like, so, because when you have 12 strikeouts, usually you got to be nibbling on the odd corner, right? To be able to get these guys to strike out. What impressed you most, not only about just his performance, but his ability to strike them out swinging?
Yeah, the conviction. I think anytime you're ahead of these big league hitters, they're looking for something up, out, over the plate or a mistake. And I don't think he had any of those. And even sometimes when you're pounding the zone so good and there's conviction behind your pitches, when you do make that mistake, it's miss, right? So I think the biggest thing is he threw everything with conviction. When he smelled blood, he went for the kill. And I love watching that. Again, as a starting pitcher, especially when you're, sometimes some of the damage can be done with 2 strikes. And next thing you know, you're like, man, like I had this guy done, and then I let him back in the count. I don't think Trey Savage did that in Game 5. I don't even know what day it is. I feel like I've been traveling with the team, and I'm not even part of the team. I literally just landed in Toronto, checked into I haven't even gone into my room. So it's just been a crazy week, honestly. It's just been one of the coolest weeks. This stuff that I just got into experience with, like, my wife, my kids, my mom, my dad, my brother, my sisters, my grandpa. It's just all around. It's been really, really cool to follow the team and kind of feel like you're still a part of it as a fan and as a former player.
Well, I can imagine. It's great. Now, I want to get your scouting report. As a pitcher, you got to respect what Yamamoto does. My goodness, back-to-back complete games in the playoffs. So if you're the Jays, what's the hitting approach tonight to try to get to Yamamoto?
Ooh, that's tough because, like you mentioned, he is tough, and I think he does such a great job of mixing pitches. He pitches backwards. When he jumps ahead of you, he goes for the kill too. Like, he doesn't let you get comfortable on the plate. And what I love the most about him is he pitches inside. He makes sure he backs you off that plate so that he can get that outer half. So there's a lot of stuff that he does really, really well. You just hope, like I said, mistakes. I think the Jays have to punish his mistakes tonight. If he leaves the ball up all over the plate, it's punishing that mistake. And hopefully you hope too that he probably has a night off and that you can get to him early, because I feel like Game 2, they had him on the ropes early on, and they kind of let him off the hook. And I think they can't do that. You know, if they have runners in second and third early in the game, no outs, they have to be able to cash those runs in, because I think it's going to be a very tight game. And you know, hopefully the Jays get it done tonight.
Ricky, looking at a pitcher's approach to Shohei Ohtani, he's had the one monster game, of course, in Game 3, and he had 2 home runs, 2 doubles, and then they walked him. But since then, they've went right at him. And I think you're in the World Series. Pitchers, you got to have an ego, you got to have a belief in yourself, no question. And I look at them and they've been like, hey, we're going to go after this guy. So you're Kevin Gausman. I'm assuming he's attacking him. It seems that, low and away or high and inside. Is that the best place to pitch Ohtani?
Me personally, I was waiting for somebody to I feel like he gets so comfortable and he looks up all over the plate and he starts leaning. We saw that home run he hit to left field at Dodger Stadium. And you're just like, man, he just looks comfortable. Somebody needs to brush him, not hit him, just brush him back so that you can get the outer half back for him. And I think it's just a cat and mouse game that you have to play. You just never know, man. That guy's a unicorn and he's unbelievable. I said this to my friends back home in LA and friends who just fans of baseball. I'm like, we're witnessing one of the greatest, if not the greatest player to ever play. Honestly, when you watch him up close, and I was at that game where he hit those home runs, the 18-inning game. Yeah. And they had to walk him intentionally after that. It's crazy because, those guys can either get hot really quick or go cold. And, I feel like Trey Savage did a really good job of pitching inside, and then getting that outer half back. So, it's a cat and mouse game with him, and it's just keeping him off balance and making sure. For me, the key is getting obviously to lead off the game. You can't intentionally walk them, but once the game starts, it's getting the guys who are hitting 8th, 9th, not get on base so that you could pitch to him, and having a comfortable lead obviously too would help.
Oh yeah. Hey, lead obviously helps. I just loved how they attacked him, and the back-to-back games, both pitchers went at him, and they obviously have had some success. He's a big home run hitter, but he will strike out at times.
He's human.
Yeah. I get it. He is, although sometimes he does seem superhuman. But hey, I want to get your thoughts on Addison Barger. And I know Vladdy's the big name, but if I look at all the stats just in the World Series alone, Adam Barger is right up there for the MVP talk with Vladdy Guerrero. Obviously, he had the first ever pinch hit home run in World Series history. He's had a great outfield assist. He had excellent base running last game. He's got more RBIs. He's got he's batting .471 in this World Series. Addison Barger's 25, young hitter who he seems like a grinder. What do you like most about Barger, and really what's impressed you most in this World Series?
Everything. His at-bats have been tremendous. And what I love about him is that he doesn't get cheated. He comes up with a plan, and if that ball's in the zone, he's going to hit it 400 feet. It just seems like he is that locked in. But I think, like I said, this has been the theme of the Toronto Blue Jays. It's the guys that nobody knew coming into this season, the Bargers of the world, the Clements, Nathan Lucas, those type of guys. The grinders, the guys that have just, that have grinded their way up to the big leagues, those role players that have played a tremendous role on this team. And a guy like Addison Barger, I mean, he should be up there for MVP talk. He's done a great job. And what's impressed me most about him, too, is his defense. I mean, it's been money. Again, he is just playing like a complete player right now, doing the little things. You mentioned the great base running heads-up play he had last game. And it's just, again, the little things I think are adding up for the Blue Jays in a very positive way.
The Jays, having played, I think culture matters a lot, and they have a group like Ernie Clement the other day. What's the strength of their team? And he goes, friendship. They obviously get along, and most clubhouses get along, but some are different for a variety of different reasons. And this team seems very close. They also seem very loose. Like Vladdy Guerrero's having fun, and sometimes I think in pro sports, Ricky, there's lots of pressure on it, but it's still a game and it's fun. And when you have fun, it doesn't mean that you don't care, and it doesn't mean you're not serious. You're just enjoying the moment. Do you sense that part of the Jays' success is, they have a really fun, laid-back attitude? Yes, they work hard and they grind and everything, but they seem to have a lot of enjoyment while they're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, and part of it has to do with winning, right? I mean, I feel like these moments don't come often, and you just never know when you're going to be in this situation ever again. So why not savor the moment? And I think it starts with their leader in Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and what he's been able to do and how loose he's been making it look, right? I mean, you look at him, he's smiling, he's having fun, and it's almost like it's not even a World Series game for him. It's like he's just like, all right, here we go, let's go, just another game, let's go. But, to everyone else, obviously it is. To us, it's a World Series game, and then you're like, I mean, me, for example, as a former player, I'm always like, man, I'm wondering what's going through his head. And it just seems like the game is so slow for him right now. And I think him leading the charts like that, it helps everyone else kind of get into that mode and feed off that adrenaline and that aura that Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s got right now. So it's very contagious. And again, it starts with leaders like Vladdy and George Springer, Kevin Gausman, Chris Bassett. I mean, you mentioned all those veteran guys, and, they've been through it all. So it should savor this moment. And hopefully, like I said, tonight is the last night we can watch a baseball, because I don't know if the city can handle a game.
Now, Ricky,
and myself.
Yeah, I saw you post that your grandfather came with you to Game 5. And it was his first time at a World Series game, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Kind of take me through why this has been so important for you to want to experience this so much, because there's lots of guys who played for the Jays, but they're not all following the team around in this playoffs. Why is it so important for you to kind of be this close to the action?
You know what? I think it's just the way the organization has treated me ever since I retired.
Okay.
As far as being an alumni and doing alumni work for them, I feel like I've always been tight to the people, the people that work there. And I'm talking about grounds crew guys and marketing people, front office people that I know of. And I think I've just always had a tight connection. My wife being from Toronto makes it even bigger. My kids being half Canadian. They're the only ones in Southern. Actually, I ran into Corey Perry earlier in the week.
Yeah.
And his son was in full Blue Jay gear, and we started talking, and I didn't recognize him. He didn't recognize me. And then all of a sudden we started talking, and we're like, oh yeah, so we recognized each other. And, there's not very many kids out in Southern California dressed up in Blue Jay gear. And it's just always, like I said, I have the tight connection here because we have a house here in Toronto. We come back here often. So it's like, I've always felt like I've always been part of the team, part of the organization, and part of the coach, not part of the culture team-wise, but always part of the Toronto Blue Jay culture. And I know how much it would mean to the city, to the country of Canada if they were able to win a World Series.
Give me your thoughts on how are you as a fan, right? Like when you played, there was lots of games when you're the pitcher, when you pitch once every 5 starts. So you watched a lot of games from the dugout. So I don't know if you were nervous then or not, but how is it sitting in the crowd for Ricky Romero?
I'm pretty calm. I mean, big situations, I obviously like give it a little fist pump like I did back when I was pitching. But I think the coolest experience was able to experience Game 7 with my boys when Springer hit that home run. I think everyone went crazy, and I think you'd be foolish not to act like a little kid again during that moment. So it was, but for the most part, I like watching the game. I like watching, what's happening. Obviously, when you're watching it on TV, you're watching just the pitcher and the catcher. I can watch the whole action about how guys do the little things or like prep step. I was trying to get my son to like watch that. I'm like, don't watch the pitcher. I want you to watch the infielders and watch how they prep and how they're ready for a ground ball and stuff like that. So that's like, that's the type of stuff that I see and when the way they move and kind of guess what pitch they're throwing next and stuff like that.
And that is now I want to get into the mind of a pitcher. Right. So how much is it your catcher when you're playing? Okay, you know what? I just threw a fastball. Now I'm throwing a changeup, or am I doing a curve, or am I doing a cutter? Like, how much goes into it? How much is it you? How much is it the catcher involved? And how much is it, the game within the game of knowing what the hitter is expecting, but then try to throw him something different?
Oh man, I mean, I relied on my catchers a lot, and I had some great ones in my time here in Toronto. So I always say this: they have the best seat in the house. They get to see Shohei Ohtani step into the box. They get to see if he's making adjustments. They get to see if he's moving his feet, where he's moving them, if he's opening up. So that's why I always trusted catchers to kind of direct me. I mean, I hated shaking. I like working at a decent pace. So I think Trey Savage mentioned that he tried shaking Alejandro Kirk 2 games ago. Kirk gave him the same sign again. So he was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be shaking him. So I kind of was similar to that. Again, those guys prep so hard and they understand the game so well that, this is why we see a lot of managers that are catchers. They understand the game. And for me, I was like, I studied my side of it, but for the most part, it's like you mentioned, the game within the game. You make adjustments as you go on, and that's kind of how I approached it.
Ricky, this will be a tough one, but a fun one. The Jays have had so many guys show up in big games, like Davis Schneider to hit a leadoff home run. The first pitch was unreal. Like, you were at that building, but it's been like, it's just like somebody just popped the balloon in the crowd, and then Vladdy just stomped on it right after with his home run 2 pitches later. But who's making the big play of the game tonight for the Jays?
I mean, I think it's Vladdy's moment, man. I think he does it. He has a big moment, and it's just Kirk. He's already had a tremendous postseason, but you watch his at-bats and the way he's taking pitches, even his strikeouts, you just watch what he's doing, and why not just put a bow tie on this season and have him be the hero?
Oh, well, it's good. Well, Ricky, I hope you enjoy it with your family. Enjoy the energy of the building, the whole city. I'm sure it's electric. And best of luck. Thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy Game 6.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me.
There you go. That's Ricky Romero, former Blue Jays, of course, Blue Jay alumni. He's been traveling. Now, he's a California guy, so he's going back home, and then he's going back home to Toronto. And I've read some interviews that, hey, man, like, because people ask him, like, you're from California, how can you not be a Dodger fan? He goes, hey, Toronto is my team, man. Like, that's who gave me my chance. And as an alumni of that organization, I think sometimes it gets overlooked how organizations, you treat your alumni well, that's a big deal, right? Because for a lot of guys, you go from being a player and you're kind of a big deal. And then all of a sudden you retire and suddenly you're not a big deal at all. And that's fine. But if you're remembered by the organization, that can soften the blow a little bit. So interesting to see what happened. With the Jays tonight. Like, I can't wait. We're 3 hours and 28 minutes away from first pitch tonight. It should be awesome. We'll talk more orders coming up later on, but we got Nick Prasad will join us, former Jays instructor, and more on the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
You'll see us digging holes. No, we're not looking for buried treasure. You'll see us digging trenches as well. And no, we're not building a fort. We're GS Construction, and you'll see us in neighborhoods throughout the Edmonton area. So what are we doing? GS Construction provides rehabilitation and upgrade services to Edmonton and surrounding communities. Some of our underground utilities have served us for years and are past their useful lives. We replace them, so they're around for years to come. Find out more at gsconstruction.ca.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Since 2016, we've been at the forefront of hydraulic torque wrenches in Canada. I'm delighted to share our latest venture, in-house production for quicker turnaround, superior quality, and heightened versatility. Experience excellence at cantork.com.
Sunday at 2, load the stands at Rogers Place because your Edmonton Oil Kings face off against the Swift Current Broncos for United Against Cancer Day.
Raise awareness and unite in the fight against cancer.
There will be a game used stick and alumni jersey auction benefiting Sorrentino's Compassion House. Plus, fans in attendance will be given signs where they can write who they fight for as we stand against cancer. Oil Kings, Broncos, United Against Cancer, Sunday at 2.
Great family entertainment at Rogers Place starts at just $20 a seat. Save on day of game pricing now at oilkings.ca.
It's a new season, Edmonton, which means it's time for new offers. Play Alberta is offering odds boosts on every Oilers game all season long. This is your chance to score big. And for a limited time only, our listeners can get an exclusive $50 free bet when they deposit $50 using code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for an exclusive $50 free bet. Alberta wins with Play Alberta. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, please use your game sense. PlayAlberta.ca.
When pumpkins glow and night turns chill, there's one fall treat that fits the bill. A pizza shaped like a jack-o'-lantern with smiling pepperoni pattern. Thin golden crust, so cheesy and tasty. Get yours now, better be hasty. It's only around for a limited time for a spooktacular price, $17.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, yes, it's true. Papa John's Jack-o'-lantern Pizza is coming for you. Spookily and proudly locally owned and operated.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance. When you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. The Oilers are back in action, and OTR is ready to be your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian, 69-cent wings, and play score and win every game. See more at ontherocksYEG.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$2:45, Positive Friday. Welcome back, Gregor, Connor Halley. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram for both Sports 1440 and Oilers Nation. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. Of course, Oilers, they had an optional skate today, and they'll be hosting the Chicago Blackhawks tomorrow night. Saturday night game. It's always exciting. Original 6 team. Connor Bedard in town. So Frankie Nazar, some players you might want to see. Oiler fans would rather see a win. So we'll see if they can. That's a team you got to win on home ice. I'm sorry. Just got to find a way to beat the Chicago Blackhawks. No doubt in my mind that that's a team you got to beat. So let's get to our MLB report now, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home to no payments, no interest for 1 year on your furnace. Stay warm all winter. LegacyHeating.ca. Nick Prasad from Blue Jays Nation also spent 8 years in the Jays organization as an instructor, helping out in academies and such. Nick, how you doing, man?
Good, man. Thank you so much for having me.
I appreciate it. Quickly, when you're in the academy, you just working with a lot of the young kids, kind of teaching the ins and outs of baseball, or is it more with young prospects? How does it work?
Yeah, a lot of the young kids from out of Baseball Canada. I was in an affiliation trying to grow the game all around Canada, across province to province. And then on top of that, evaluating the high school level to college level players that as a part of T12 or Tournament 12, as it was called, it's now called the Canadian Futures. And that was to showcase the top 150 players in all of Canada that are college eligible. And a lot of those players are now playing in the majors. I mean, Josh Naylor, Matt Brash, like there's a list of them. So yeah, so that they came out of there, and yeah, got to see those guys from young.
Okay, perfect. Now you look at the Jays, and they got a mix of old guys and Mad Max, and they got a lot of young guys, you know, that they've developed. You know, David Schneider at 28th round, and then you got a first round of Trey Savage, and you know, Lucas, who wasn't drafted, but 10-year guy in the minors who just grinds it out, and then Guerrero and Bichette, and you know, Barger. You go Clement, you go down the list. Oh, Clement wasn't drafted by the Jays, but you look at this team on the brink of one win away from winning the World Series. And, you know, you cover the team. Like, is it just easy to pinpoint, okay, late May, the switch flipped and all of a sudden they were good? Or, you know, when did you realize, hey, maybe this Jays team is actually really good?
I think it was more so after the trade deadline. I mean, we saw what they were capable of early on, but I mean, I was on a show prior to opening day, and I even said, I'm not sure which way this team is going to go. Obviously, we had some returning guys, made a couple of off-season moves, but nothing crazy. And I think at that point, you know, April, May, June goes along, you kind of see the fine tools of what they offer. You see where the bullpen is. We understand that, you know, we have one of the better starting pitching rotations in the league. But, you know, Vladdy was still lingering without a contract. You know, Bichette was, you know, hot, but then on and off with injury. And like we saw a little bit of a dynamic that didn't play out very well. So we were kind of like on the bubble, at least I was on the bubble as to where are they. I was thinking wildcard team. And I mean, even up until, you know, the end of the season where we're talking about postseason, even though we had the lead in the American League East, I was still thinking wildcard. Like I even purchased wildcard tickets. So, you know, I think it was just after the trade deadline, you know, we've seen things prevail. Things were coming together. We've seen more bat on ball. We've seen the home run come about. And then Vladdy had just turned into who he is now after signing that contract. So I think everything sort of came together mid-July-ish.
Okay. Obviously the Bieber acquisition helped. And, you know, we just had Ricky Romero on the show, and I think he made a really good point about Trey Savage. If they don't have injuries to their pitchers, you might not see Trey Savage. Right. But so sometimes, you know, like Barrios had started to struggle, and in a weird way, his injury opened the door, and Trey Savage just crushed it and, you know, barged right through it. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't expect to see him up and even see him in the postseason to begin with. I know I watched a lot of Paul Skeens, and I didn't think I would see anything close to what Paul Skeens is doing. But Paul Skeens is not in the World Series or wasn't the game one starter of the World Series. I do agree. If injuries didn't prevail, I don't think we would be at where we're at. And you mentioned Barrios. If his realm of performance was different, it'd be a way different rotation. And I think it's a blessing in disguise to have this proceed the way it did with Savage doing what he's doing. I mean, at this point, you know, he develops from here, but I mean, you know, from starting in single A, right, and working all the way up to being the game one pitcher of the World Series, that's a wild journey. So things, when they say it falls into place and the baseball gods are blessing you, this is what they're talking about.
So let's look at the game tonight. We see the Dodgers. They switched their lineup a little bit. Mookie Betts is struggling mightily, so they move him down again. And I wonder, does that help his mental state? Does it hurt it? Who knows? But now he's hitting cleanup, and they've moved Smith up to number 2 spot. Freeman will stay in the number 3 slot. How are you expecting Gausman to go after this lineup? Any different than what we saw in game 2 from him?
I think if the wheel's not broken, don't change it. Gausman, his repertoire is somewhat untouchable for majority of this Dodgers lineup, and it's working similar to Yamamoto. But sticking on the Gausman page, I think what, you know, his off speed's working, his change and his sequencing of his pitches makes sense right now, and it's throwing those Dodgers hitters off. And not just the Dodgers, we've seen it with the Mariners, we've seen it with the Yankees. So he's in a dominant stage of his performance right now. I think we keep it the exact same, and you adjust. I mean, they already know what his off speed looks like. So to be showing that, you know, that part of his repertoire early on in the game, first, second, third inning, that's not a problem. You continue the same sequencing.
Looking at how they're going to attack Yamamoto at the plate, because the Jays had a lot of swings and misses in game 2, which, hey, when you got a good pitcher, that's what's going to happen. Obviously, that first inning could have gone different. They started out runners first and third. It didn't get anybody home. Actually had bases loaded, didn't get anybody in. And that, that if they look back at that game, that was obviously the one inning where they really felt like they had him on the ropes. It's hard to find a weakness in Yamamoto's game. But if you're the Jays, what's going to be the key to success in getting some runs and maybe get him out of the game before the 6th or 7th inning?
So he's a pitcher that's not going to make a whole lot of mistakes, but I think being ready for that mistake is what's going to be the outcome of this game, whether it's a win or a loss or success on the offensive end. I mean, I've looked at the sequencing for him as well. I mean, Vladdy in the last game they played, Vladdy had he got 5 or 6 pitches, and I think 4 of them were splitters. Right, you saw 1 fastball, and majority of the lineup, he was leading off with a splitter or a changeup or a curveball. So he's actually pitching backwards, right? And you're most likely to see that upper 90s fastball later on in the count. So, if they can dig a hole at 0-2, 1-2, and then, come forward and just wait and throw on the fastball, if that's their pitch, that's their pitch. But I would only assume that within the past couple of days, they've reviewed and understood kind of how that splitter works, so they can possibly jump on that first pitch. It's really going to be the approach in which they go about this, because he has 7 options, right? But he's going to throw that curve, that splitter, and that fastball the most of all his options.
Looking at the Jays lineup, no surprises really going up against a righty. Springer's back in, Bichette is in, Lucas is going to hit number 2. Obviously, Barger stays in. He's been unbelievable. Clement, Varsho, Jimenez, etc. In tonight's game, if it's a close game, are you putting I think John Schneider's been unreal. There's only one mistake. One move I'd make that I really question. That was taking Barger out in the 7th against Straw. I get that Straw's a better defender, but he ain't that much better because he's such a worse hitter. If the game's tight, I am not putting Straw in for defensive purposes for him. Would you?
Absolutely not. I really didn't agree with that move to begin with. Barger's established himself as a key bat in that lineup, and he's a left-handed hitter. There's no shot I take him out. He's one of my trusted guys in the lineup. I can't speak for anybody else, but we're talking about extra innings. You want to have him in there, and so he's one of your guys. He's a key piece, a factor there. Despite the minimal difference in defense, he stays in the lineup for sure.
Can you explain, do you think win or lose, it impacts Bichette's chances of signing at all with Toronto?
I mean, obviously, as a competitor, the competitor that he is, he would want to stay in a winning predicament. I mean, if they can win this series and potentially build a plan to run it back the next year and the next year, similar to the 92-93 stint, there's a chance that he stays, because, I mean, this is his first time experiencing this, right? And seeing what Toronto fans bring, to the environment, to his career, seeing how much they love him. If it's a loss, it's still, a possibility. But, I mean, who, aside from Kawhi Leonard, who wouldn't want to stay with the team they won with, right? And, but I do think that he needs to kind of find his spot with the organization and kind of where he fits in their long-term plans. So I definitely think if they hold that trophy up this weekend, there's a good shot that he probably would consider signing that contract.
What do you think he's going to get?
And honestly, it really depends on, and in my opinion, it really depends on, sort of where he's at right now. I mean, we knew kind of what he was going into the season with, and then throughout his active time this season, and then obviously he got injured. I personally can't see more than a 7-year deal, right? And I think even 7 years, that might be a little bit pushing it, especially coming off injury and, not being able to see where he's at now. But we know the type of player he is. I'm thinking around the 7-year range. In terms of dollars, I can't really put a dollar figure on that, but I don't see it being anything extreme up above like 9, 10, 11.
Really? You think it's going to be that low? Wow. I think for some reason, I think the guy's going to be getting 18 to 20, but I could be wrong on that. So we'll see where it goes. But I think he was leading the league in hits. He's somewhat, you could probably make an argument. He might be a better second baseman long-term than he is a shortstop, but because of his bat, someone might say, okay, you can play shortstop for a few more years. And, the Jays, I know when organizations win historically in any level, they like to keep their guys. And so I think if he wins, he probably has a better chance because the organization's like, hey, let's keep the guys here. The thing is, though, they might have the best defensive infielder as a backup in Jimenez that you could say, well, if we lose Bo, we got a pretty good shortstop. And that's probably the good negotiating power that they have right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see Jimenez as an all-around player. And like he obviously, was a big part of the team getting to where they are right now. We're only seeing Bo in the World Series. And that's not his fault. I mean, he's been injured. He couldn't play. And I'm sure, if he was healthy and active, it would have been even a stronger, offensive situation for the Jays, even going into the postseason. But I think sticking with, a guy like Jimenez, not long term, but, for the next 2-3 years, if possible. I mean, why change the wheel if it's not broken? I mean, if you can make it better, great. But it's not a situation what the Yankees are going through with Anthony Volpe, where he's one of their young prodigies, right? But he's kind of not fitting in there, and they have to make a decision if they ever want to get back to the top of the American League East. So we don't have that problem.
What's your prediction? What's happening tonight, Nick?
That's the one question I absolutely dislike. I've been asked this all day, and I'm sure you have as well. I'm going to go out with a hot take and say that we figure out Yamamoto at some point between 3 to 7 innings of work. I definitely think the middle of the lineup, they zone in, they create some heat with offense. I definitely think I think we pull off a win tonight for sure.
Awesome. Well, enjoy it, Nick. Appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me, man.
There you go. Former Jays instructor, now writes at Blue Jays Nation, Nick Prasad. Joining us, it's the Jays and the Dodgers. The lineups are in. We know both of them. We obviously have known who the starting pitchers will be for a few days. You got 3 hours and 8 minutes before first pitch. And hey, after last game, you don't want to miss a pitch. You never know what's going to happen early on. Although I'm pretty confident can say the Dodgers aren't going to start the game with back-to-back home runs, considering it's only ever happened once in MLB history, and that was the last game. So not sure it's going to happen. It should be a hell of a game, man. The energy, the excitement. I see people getting all worked up about who's thrown out the ceremonial pitch. Why the hell does that matter? Like, are we serious right now? They're critiquing the fact that it's Devon White throwing out the first pitch. What does it matter? You tell, I don't think he's going to rile up the crowd as much. Are you joking? You think a crowd for a potential winning game is suddenly going to be like, oh, you know what? It's not Joe Carter. I'm not going to cheer as loud. Like, talk about just the most asinine take ever. I remember being at Game 6 and they couldn't even win. And it was the last home, and they're going bananas 30 minutes before the game. The crowd is going to be loud. Whoever's the ceremonial first pitch, they're going to give him a round of applause. They're going to be like, something. They say, hey, Devon White's a pretty good player. He's a pretty key player when they won. Like, who cares who's throwing out the ceremonial first pitch? Like, let's be real here. Whoever it is, awesome. Fans are going to treat him great because the fans are smart. It's only a few of the media clowns who are questioning this. Sorry, media guys, but that's a clown take to worry about who's throwing out the first pitch. It's clown take. Let's get to Connor Halley and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. It's coming. November's around the corner. We know there's going to be some cold. There's going to be some snow. You probably need winter tires. Well, right now you can get 15% off all winter tires at fountaintire.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
The Game 6 of the World Series goes tonight from Toronto. Jays leading the Dodgers 3-2. The Bluebirds will send Kevin Gausman to the mound while the Dodgers countering with Yoshi Yamamoto. First pitch just after 6. We'll have it for you here on Sports 1440 radio feed only in the NHL. 3 games today. Right now, Avs up on the Golden Knights 1-0 in the second. Later on, you get the Islanders and the Caps, and the Ducks hosting the Red Wings in the association. NBA Cup group play. The Raptors taking on the Cavs at 5:30. We've also got the Sixers and the Celtics. Knicks in Chicago. Suns host the Jazz, and the Trailblazers hosting the Denver Nuggets. BCHL Spruce Grove in Blackfall. So the Crew host Okotoks Both games start at 7. You got 4 games in the AJ, including the Bobcats hosting the Thunder and Whitecourt in Fort Mac. At the collegiate level, Golden Bears hockey team in Langley taking on Trinity Western tonight and tomorrow. The Pandas in town hosting Trinity, and McEwen hosting the Dinos at the DCA. That gets going just after 7, while the women are in Calgary. And college football tonight, number 25 Memphis heading to Houston to take on Rice at 5. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we joined by our co-host Wanye Gretz from Oilers Nation. We'll also preview tomorrow's Oilers Blackhawks game with Greg Poison of Chicago Hockey Now. And we'll be joined by local musician Timothy Noel. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Carve out for a cause at the Jason Gregor Pizza Pig Out, presented by GS Construction. Thursday, November 6th at the Canadian Ice House, indulge in unlimited pizza from amazing local pizzerias while you help raise some dough for kids' sport. Then vote for your favorite slice to help crown the People's Choice Award winners. Tickets to join Edmonton's biggest and best adult pizza party are just $30. Head to jasongregorpizzapigout.com for more details and to buy tickets.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Bring in the new year with a Canadian country legend. December 31st, in concert at the Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Brett Kissel. She drives me crazy. Multiple CCMA and Juno Award winner, platinum-selling recording artist, and top 10 hitmaker. Celebrate the new year in Alberta, country style. Bring your friends, your cowboy boots, and your party spirit for a night full of hits, celebration, and unforgettable memories. The countdown to 2026 starts with Brett Kissel live on stage. Get your tickets now at silenticecenter.com/events.
Want sports talk on the go?
You can listen to 1440 on the AM dial or stream us on your mobile device through apps like Radio Player, iHeart, and Stingray Music.
Edmonton sports fans,
turn to Sports 1440.
1440.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit alberta.com. Alberta's Energy. Game on.
When pumpkins glow and night turns chill, there's one fall treat that fits the bill. A pizza shaped like a jack-o'-lantern with smiling pepperoni pattern. Thin golden crust, so cheesy and tasty. Get yours now, better be hasty. It's only around for a limited time for a spooktacular price, $17.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, yes, it's true. Papa John's Jack-O-Lantern Pizza is coming for you. Spookily and proudly locally owned and operated.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? Buy Canadian. Cantork's products are not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money, support Canada at cantork.com.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Oh, it's a positive Friday. People are excited. How are you? Welcome back to the Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Actually, just saw Sam's outfit. I hadn't seen that. It's not bad. Like what are you two guys like Scrooge of Halloween? Connor's got a young kid dressed up. You know, Declan came in last Friday, thought he was Mini Rock, and now he's got no costume on today. What the hell is going on?
Well, I mean, I won't speak for Declan. I love Halloween. I don't dress up. Love everything about Halloween. Love your costume. Love fanfare.
I tell you, when your kid's 3, you're dressing up when you go out for trick or treat.
Oh yeah, I
how it
mean,
goes.
when he wants me to dress up, for sure. When he's got the idea, the brains of the operation, absolutely. But I don't know. Love seeing the costumes walking around the mall, though, Gregor.
Yeah.
Summer Fringe. It's like, is that a costume or is that just
Have you seen anybody's costume today that you're like, wow?
No. Well,
Yours.
outside of Gregor's, yeah.
I walked in, I was like visibly shocked when I looked over and realized that William Shakespeare himself was sitting here in the studio from the year 1400.
Yeah, that's right.
I audibly gasped because I looked at Connor and then I looked at the cowboy and I'm like, okay, that's slightly, but sports, rodeo week. I'm not thinking Halloween. Declan, of course, looks the same every day of the year, like me. But you definitely have a look.
Well, you know what? Hey, it's Halloween. I like Halloween. I actually quite like it a lot.
What do you call this getup? What's your character?
It's just like a prince from old age era. My mother-in-law sewed this whole outfit.
It looks movie grade, like an actual.
Oh no, it's buddy. This thing, I'm gonna get a full body shot, and Connor's gonna post it. But it is, I got the long socks and everything. Like it's very much of that era. So, because this is kind of like the prince one, but then I have a king one because I have the whole jacket, but the jacket's just too hot. Like my mother-in-law made that. It's unbelievable. But I remember the first party I wore to, we actually won best costume because she had a queen outfit for my wife Tracy, and like she had this whole gown that was phenomenal. Right? Phenomenal. But I wore that thing and I was in the house party for about 45 minutes. Man, I was dying because that coat is so heavy and it's so hot. But I was like, I can't wear it in studio. So I went with the Prince one. So I have kind of 2 outfits in one.
It's not a costume. It's like a legit outfit. Like the vest is real.
Oh yeah.
The hat is real. It's all real.
It's all legit. Even with the feather. So it's not a bow, it's a feather. So it's nice. Whether is what's your son going as tonight?
Yeah, so I'm not wearing a Halloween costume, but the caveat is that I was up at the crack of dawn getting a 5-year-old ready for kindergarten, and he was a skeleton.
And you're painting his face?
Yes.
Ooh.
And if you try to get a 5-year-old to sit still at 6:45 in the morning to paint his face,
that's a tough one.
That's my contribution to Halloween in 2025.
Did he like it?
At the end.
Yes.
But he was very concerned. Like, is it going to be like this forever? Can I get it off? This type of thing. I'm like, I promise.
Yeah.
How do I get it off?
How do you get it off? We'll put mayonnaise on your face.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Mayonnaise. Trust me, that doesn't work. It's a myth. The myth.
You can use mayonnaise to remove paint?
Yeah. Well, they would say if you put mayonnaise, I learned this in high school. Our buddy Al, who's like amongst our friends, he was like the smartest one, at least when we were younger. I don't know. He was very smart. That's always our joke. And so I was like, because we did it was when we did Air Band. And so we ended up doing this Phil Collins song. I don't even know how I was singing it. And we were like the backup people. And so we all had to go and you're like Aboriginal, right? So we had to paint yourself in like a light brown. And so he's like, okay, well, so he was using shoe polish, right? And he's like, just put mayonnaise on your whole body first. I read this up. We put mayonnaise on it. Then you put the shoe polish on. It'll come off easier. So, you're 16. You're like, oh, my buddy's smart. Okay, we'll believe him. Duh. So I put it on and, whatever, you're looking like tribesmen. That's fine. Well, it's over. Dude, I must have scrubbed myself raw to try to get that off. Like, we were not happy. We're like, Al, what the hell's going on here with the mayonnaise? Like, either we didn't put enough on or it totally was a joke and it didn't work. But yeah, that was like your whole body was raw for weeks before that stuff ever came off.
It was before the internet. You couldn't fact check. You have to drive down to the library.
Yeah. Right. No, you read up on it. Like he looked it up. Well, like, hey, that's how you research.
In the moment when you're hearing this wacky idea, you can't check it against anything. It was just you and your wits.
But even if you did it now, people still believe. Like, I don't know if it's a myth thing because it's even on that one of the jokes I noticed. They're like, on one of the commercials. I don't even know what the commercial is. It's got the lady. She has her face paint on, right? And she's in the washroom of the airplane, and the lady's like, "Oh, it says here you can use mayonnaise," and I'm like, "Lies, lies. That is not true. Don't do it. Don't do it. Does not work."
Does not compute.
No. So don't anybody out there, don't fall for it. Don't do it. You want to get the face paint? Find something better because the mayonnaise ain't working. Dude, like, and really, when I think about it, I'm like, what the hell would be in mayonnaise that makes that going to work? Like, but at the time, when someone tells you an idea and it's someone you respect and you think they're pretty smart, you're like, well, okay, well, sure. I'm 16. I'm not at the time to be like, start questioning this. It's not a theologian. I'm not going to suddenly question. I'm like, yeah, it's mayonnaise. Sure. No, I guess it put it on. It's creamy, it's slick. It'll just come off. No, did not. Not at all. Probably 2 weeks to get it off.
We're old enough to remember pre-smartphones where it was like your wits against what someone was telling you. And you had to figure out if you're getting tricked or not. Now these kids today, They're not chicken like they used to. You could ask a 10-year-old today, will mayonnaise work? And they'll just Google it immediately and be like, no.
Well, ChatGPT doesn't always tell the truth. That's what I always like to tell people. It's still based on other things it has to find. So it's getting better, but it's not always accurate. Just like anything on the internet isn't always accurate. You can read it all the time. Like lately, people claiming, oh, the Oilers are making a trade. Really? You think Troy Stetcher is going to get you a piece of the action? Stop it. Speaking of the Oilers last night, we got a lot of text line in 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440 in our email inbox. Gregor, I know you go to the games lots. I appreciate your question. You asked Bouchard, pretty straightforward, how he can be so great in the playoffs and so different now. Any reason why? Honestly, I don't know the answer. That's why I asked him the question. And I think it's a fair question because we see it. And you see this guy who's like a Hall of Famer at the most important part of the season. And no one can debate that. It's 3 years in a row. And the last 2 years, they went to the Stanley Cup final. Look at Evan Bouchard's production. Look at his numbers, like everything. Offense. Look at his goals for, against. Just look at his plays. Just like, oh my God, this guy's playing 28, 29 minutes a night. He's playing unreal. And now it's a regular season. And you're like, what the hell is going on? This guy's making passes that it's like he just isn't, it's regular season. Doesn't matter. And like, I know that's not how he thinks, but that's how it's coming across.
What did he say in response?
Well, he just said, hey, you know what? I got to be better. And so like he addressed it. He didn't really have an answer because he probably doesn't have like why. He's a guy who elevates to the moment. There's no question about that. He's done it. When you do it once, it's like, okay, but you do it 3 years in a row as a young player. I'm sorry. You're a guy who elevates his game when it matters most. You can't deny that. But he's also a player who can just kind of go through the motions early on in a regular season. And we're seeing it again. And, they got to be at the point. Now, I know because the third one, now he's not moving his feet, but that wasn't like a terrible giveaway where just put a pizza right up on the tape. He's trying to dump it out, but he's not moving. Right. And that's really the thing. I think Bouchard's got to move his feet. And so it starts there. Be moving. I think when you move your feet, all of a sudden, you create more space for yourself so you can get yourself out of trouble and you can make better plays. Because we all know he's capable of making better plays, but like enough's enough. And at some point, like look at Darnell Nurse. Darnell Nurse got sat down for 6 minutes to start the second period on Tuesday night against Utah. He had a rough first period and he'd had a few other rough games prior to that. Well, look at him since. Like Darnell Nurse was excellent last night for the Edmonton Oilers. Offensively, defensively, he's moving his feet. He was aggressive. He's kind of like, okay, I got to play better. You don't have to embarrass a player. People, put him in the press box. You're not putting Evan Bouchard in the press box, guys. Like that makes no sense. Okay. Like he's still one of your best players. He's not playing like it, but if I want to bench him for 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 12, yeah, I can do that because not a lot of people even notice it in real time. It's not a huge period of time, but you miss one shift when you're used to going out every second shift. And trust me, you get them. Now it's up to you how to react, but it's pretty clear what's going on, right? Like those guys aren't used to missing shifts. They're used to getting more shifts. So that to me is how I would do it. People say, hey, take him off the power play. I wouldn't do that. You're hurting your team, right? Think about it. When Knobloch sat Draisaitl, he sat him and then the Oilers got a power play and he put him out. They scored, he got the assist, and then he won the game. And then he took one penalty in the next 33 games. Message sent. Like, you don't have to yell and scream. Like, these guys are professional athletes. And anybody out there who's coached, even a young player, if you're a coach you try to, like, punish kids, like, I know our generation did it more. It never worked. Rarely did it work. And if it did work once, coach, like, see, it worked. Yeah, what about the 15 times it didn't work? Right? Like you can say, hey man, let's just take a reset. You're going to sit and watch for 2 shifts. Now it's up to you to how to react to it. Right now, I'm a believer. I would never bench kids at a young age. Now, unless they do something really, really brutal off of the ice, right? You're insulting one of your teammates. You're not following team rule. But if they turn the puck over and U11, U13, well, I'm not benching them. Like, what the hell would you do that for? Like, to me, that makes no sense. It bothers me. I've coached against coaches at levels who literally late in a game will go 1 or 2 lines. And I'm like, why? First of all, you don't know which one of your players is going to elevate because think about it. Based on Bouchard's regular season penchant for having turnovers, would any coach have said, no, Not going to play him in a key time in the playoffs because he'll have a turnover. Are you sure about that? So when coaches do it to young kids, I always say this, is it worth ruining a kid's enjoyment of the game to win a game in November or December for U11, U13? That's the question I would always ask myself. It's hard. Trust me. I get it. Everybody knows who the better players are on every team, but because the better player doesn't mean he's going to elevate at the key time. You don't know that. So you got to give kids chances, and they should be having fun. Never coach. Like if you want to bench guys in the NHL, that's their job. Completely different. I always have a hard time when I see coaches doing it at U11. I'm always like in my head, is it really worth it? Like, do you feel better as a coach benching an 11 and 13-year-old so you, quote, win the game? Like, why? I can't wrap my head around that. I don't get it. Right? Oh, man, it's going to make me a better coach. No, it just makes you a coach that because those kids don't like you. And the other kids, at the end of the day, they don't like a coach like that. The young age. They just don't. They'll remember it. Make no mistake about it. They'll remember Coach Bob or Coach Darryl who bench kids to try to win a game. Like I'm telling you, they'll never forget it. So don't do it.
Most people respond to the carrot, not the stick, right?
Yeah. And like you can challenge kids differently to say, hey, you're capable of more. I need to see more from you. That's okay. Remind them. But I wouldn't sit guys down. Like you want to bench Evan Bouchard for 6, 8, 10 minutes. Hey, it's fully on right now, especially when you have 7 defensemen dressed. Now, I'll be interested to see, do they stick with 7 defensemen after that game? Maybe. Like to me, Noah Philp doesn't deserve to sit out 3 consecutive games. I'd put Noah Philp back in the lineup against Chicago Blackhawks tomorrow night. When we return, we'll hear from Greg Boson. What about Connor Bedard? Frankie Nazar, they come to town tomorrow. The Blackhawks, Spencer Knight is killing it. Is it just an early season start? Are the Blackhawks significantly improved? We'll find out next on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
When you have lifting and material handling needs, Northwest Crane delivers. Western Canada's Sandy dealer. Backed by the industry's toughest one. 3 years, 3,000 hours, no compromises. They service all crane makes and models with skilled technicians and deep industry expertise. Alberta owned with locations in Leduc and Grand Prairie and fully equipped service trucks. Northwest Crane keeps your operation lifting. For more information on sales or service, visit northwestcrane.com or call today.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Monopoly Double Play is back at McDonald's. So let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand and go.
Yes!
I said 25 grand.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah!
Much better. Okay, now you just won a brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think she just fainted. Impressive. Feel like a winner on pack and in-app. Monopoly Double Play is back. While supplies last, 1 in 5 chances to win game piece prizes at outset. Chances to win draw prizes depend on number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes payable by e-transfer. See rules in-app.
It's a new season, Edmonton, which means it's time for new offers. Play Alberta is offering odds boosts on every Oilers game all season long. This is your chance to score big. And for a limited time only, our listeners can get an exclusive $50 free bet when they deposit $50 using code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for an exclusive $50 free bet. Alberta wins with Play Alberta. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, please use your game sense. PlayAlberta.ca.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 EEE. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo.
the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Backed by popular demand, Folsom Prison Revisited. The story of one of the greatest concerts in history returns to the Jubilee Auditorium November 22nd. Step back in time before, during, and after this iconic Johnny Cash performance. You'll relive an event that changed the life of Johnny Cash and changed music forever. Tickets at Ticketmaster.ca and the Jubilee box office. Brought to you by Stars and Stories Live.
Worst of this hour brought to you by Jap Machinery. Jap is digging deep on their 50-year history of supporting Alberta's construction industry with their line of special edition blackout excavators. Visit japmachinery.com for all the details.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
It continues on. How are you? Jason Gregor, Wanye Gretz, Connor Halley with you. Of course, it is game day. Game 6 of the World Series. The Toronto Blue Jays are 1 win away from their first championship in 32 years, the third championship in franchise history. They would join Boston as only the 2 franchises ever to win their first 3 appearances in the World Series. But they got to win 1 of 2 games, either tonight or tomorrow. Obviously, they are hoping it is going to be tonight. It'll be electric. And then tomorrow night, you got the Edmonton Oilers back in action. They're trying to go 2-1 on the homestand. Actually, I guess it would be 2-0-1 after losing in overtime last night to the New York Rangers. Blowing a 3-1 lead in the third period was not at all the finish that they wanted, to say the least. As let's get to the oil report now, brought to you by Go Auto, where you can stop in. They have over 15,000 vehicles to choose from at GoAuto.ca, home of the lowest winter tire price. Text tires to 777-7777. Pretty easy, and you'll get in at Go Auto. As the Chicago Blackhawks off to a much better start than they've had in recent years. Connor Bedard had his first hat trick. Frankie Nazar is playing great. Spencer Knight is playing lights out. Greg Boysen from Blackhawk Up and Fansided joins us now. And Greg, a much better start for the Blackhawks. Reason to believe for their fan base that the things are pointing upwards. Let's start in goal with the guy they acquired from Florida last year in Spencer Knight. And man, it'd be hard to have a better start for him than what he's had thus far.
Yeah, that's for sure. Spencer Knight has gotten off to a great start. Not a great game last night in Winnipeg, but not necessarily his fault. And, every goaltender is not perfect. So we weren't expecting those numbers all through the season, but he's been terrific. He's been covering a lot of the blemishes early on this season. He's got a very young defensive core playing in front of him, but they're confident in front of him, knowing that he's back there to make the saves that he's supposed to, and a few that he's probably not supposed to too. So he's been solidified that position for the Blackhawks, and I think rightfully so. He should be definitely in consideration for that third goaltending job for Team USA come February.
We've seen him, like he played 2 and then Soderblom started, then he started 3 and then Soderblom started, then he started 2. So do you know, is it going to be Knight or is it going to be Arvid Soderblom tomorrow night for Chicago?
I think it will likely be Knight. They're not really doing the tandem for between he and Soderblom, and they're pretty much playing every other day on this 6-game road trip. So I could see Soderblom probably starting like maybe the third and the last game of this road trip. But Jeff Blashill is, as we've learned really quickly here in Chicago, is very secretive when it comes to his lineups and starting goaltenders. So we'll probably have to wait till tomorrow morning for sure.
Okay. Let's move to the forward group. Connor Bedard, obviously there's tons of expectations on him. Frankie Nazar comes in, they're roommates. They went the same in the Halloween costume. Obviously they're very close in age and guys who get along very well. Just kind of tell me how different Bedard looks for you this year compared to last season.
Well, he's different in a few different ways. First and foremost, he's definitely faster. We saw the videos all summer, him and Macklin Celebrini working together, and that has made a difference. He's noticeably faster and quicker. There's a difference between those two things, and he's got better at both. But he's more confident than he's ever been before, and I think that's because he's more comfortable being in the NHL than he's ever been before. He's no longer the rookie. He's no longer got to, defer to veterans as so many young guys get in the league and they feel they have to. It's his team now. Him and Frank Nazar, they're the faces of this franchise. They run the locker room now. It's been a complete shift over the past year. And I think that has a lot to do with it too. He's a confident player. And when you're talented and fast and confident, you're dangerous.
Greg Rosen joins us talking Chicago Blackhawks. They will be in town tomorrow night. A few other guys on that team that are off to a good start, which is what you need. But, Ryan Donato, I'll say this, man, since he's come to Chicago, he's like a scoring machine. He is, you thought, okay, maybe it was just 1 year and he signed the contract, but he's off to a very good start. And he's got 6 goals. And now I know they've had it, like, is Bedard 5-on-5? Are him, Nazar, and Donato all on their own line normally, 5-on-5?
Normally, yeah, that's ideally they kind of spread it out, which is great if you can do it. Nazar and Bedard have been together at times as the game dictates. The Blackhawks have been doing a lot of 11 forwards, 7 defensemen, all but 2 games so far this season. So that gives you some flexibility to kind of mix and match as the game goes on. But essentially, those 3 guys have been on 3 different lines this year. Donato started on the top line with Bedard, but he eventually went down in the lineup. And, he's had some time with Nazar too. But Donato is like the Swiss Army knife of this team. No matter where you put him, he's going to produce and play the same.
Speaking of producing, man, that goal last night, I just tweeted it out, but if people haven't seen the Burakovsky goal, I know Chicago lost the game last night, but Burakovsky's hands in tight, that is one of the nicest goals in that quick of span to blow by Connor Hellebuyck. Like, it was unreal.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic play. And the best part of that was kind of his little sheepish grin he had after the play. Like, oops, I just did that. He's been a really good fit here. I know when he was acquired over the summer, it was kind of a lot of, he's had a couple down years in Seattle. He had his big run with Colorado playing with some elite talent. But he hasn't been healthy the last 2 years, and he's healthy this year, and that's making a difference. And he and Bedard have pretty much been attached at the hip, and that has built some good chemistry. He's so good at getting the puck through the neutral zone, and he's got great vision, and that works so well with Connor Bedard because they feed off each other, as you saw last night. I mean, Bedard knew he was going to be there, and he knew what he had to do with the puck, and that was a fun little moment. Unfortunately, that was the last fun moment of the game for the Blackhawks, but the Winnipeg Jets are a damn good hockey team, and they proved it last night.
Yeah, you look at they're coming into Edmonton. The Oilers are probably going to be a little annoyed, I would think, after their performance last night, blowing a lead in the third period. And you look at matchups. You mentioned this young D-core of Chicago. Obviously, got Vlasic and Rinzel, and Matt Grzelcyk, Connor Murphy, Wyatt Kaiser, really good young player. Yevshinov, Louis Crevier. Like, they got 5 good young defensemen there, and then you got Murphy and Grzelcyk. Do they kind of say, okay, Murphy, you're going to take the toughest minutes, or have they been basically, no, Vlasic, you and Rinzel are going to do it? Who's been facing the tougher minutes on that blue line?
It kind of been fluctuating a little bit. As I mentioned, Jeff Blashill has been rolling the 7 defensemen most of the time, so he's kind of letting whoever's playing best get those big minutes. For early in the season, Sam Rinzel was getting 24 minutes a night. And then there were a couple games, Wyatt Kaiser was getting the big minutes. Connor Murphy and Matt Grzelcyk have kind of been sheltered. He's had a lot of trust in the young guys. So while you would think Connor Murphy would be out there in the toughest situations, that necessarily hasn't happened. Alex Vlasic and Sam Rinzel is the top pairing, so they've been getting a lot of the tough matchups. And Wyatt Kaiser has been out there a lot. and has played exceptional defense this season. And he kind of rotates with either Louis Crevier, who's been a pleasant surprise, and Artem Levshinov, the top prospect. So it really isn't, a set in stone. This, Vlasic and Renzel, you're going to go out there against McDavid all night long. Blashill's been kind of letting the game dictate itself, and who's ever playing the best gets the best minutes.
The rest of Chicago, kind of looking at their lineup, you got Bedard with Burakovsky and Ryan Green, Nazar with Tyler Bertuzzi, Teo Teravainen, Jason Dickinson with Colton Dock and Ryan Donato, and then Nick Foligno and Landon Slaggert. You mentioned, going 11-7. Bedard's playing almost 22 minutes a night this year, so they have obviously bumped up his minutes. How's Teravainen and Bertuzzi played? Because those are some veteran wingers that I would think they would expect significant contributions from.
They've both been excellent. Tavo leads the team in assists. He's up there at the top of the line for points. And Tyler Bertuzzi has been the engine for this team this season. He's been very good. Last season was, there were some moments where he was really good, and then there were some games where you'd look at the score sheet and go, oh yeah, Tyler Bertuzzi played tonight. I forgot. A lot of inconsistency last season, and I think some of that had to do with the expectations for him were super high. Come on in and be Tyler and be Connor Bedard's wingmate and unlock get him to the next level. That's not what Tyler Bertuzzi really can do. And now he's got Jeff Blashill, who had his best year. He scored 30 goals in Detroit with Blashill as his head coach, and Blashill's using him more to what his role should be. He's been great on that second line with Frank Nazar. He's had some time with Connor Bedard, but he's so relentless, and his engagement level has been so consistent to start the season. He's in on the forecheck. He's getting to the front of the net on the power play. And he's just got a great personality in the room too. He's one of the locker room leaders. I wasn't the biggest fan of that contract when it was signed. I'm still not the biggest fan of how long it is, but that's what you got to do when you're in the Blackhawks situation. But so far through 10 games, he's been worth every penny.
Mikheyev, is he hurt?
Yeah, he missed last night. He is day to day. He took morning skate yesterday, but didn't play. So I would say there's a good 50-50 chance he plays. And Jason Dickinson has been dealing with a shoulder injury as well. He missed the second half of last night and is questionable for tomorrow night. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay. When you look at Chicago and, Knight's numbers early on were off the charts, of course, and they've slowly come back down to reality. He's going to run with a 945 save percentage all the time. That's just unrealistic for any goalie in the NHL, especially in today's NHL where the save percentage average is under 9. But you look at this Blackhawks team and like Winnipeg's one game, of course, I think that was maybe only the second time all year they've allowed more than 3 goals. Are you surprised at how much better they've been defensively most nights, Greg?
Yeah, to be honest with you, it's been so bad defensively the last couple of seasons, but Jeff Blashill and his staff, Michael Pekka, a 2-time former Selke Trophy winner, is on the coaching staff now. So, Jeff Blashill's philosophy is that you're going to create more offense by playing better defensively. And this team's bought into that. And they realize the best way to play defense is to have the puck most of the time. That helps. That's how those Stanley Cup teams of the 2010s won all those cups. They always had the puck. So they've been so much better and relentless as far as hounding the puck defensively and playing within a structure. Yeah, they've had their moments where they lose their structure or they get a little, can't wait to get rid of the puck in the defensive zone. But again, it's a young team and all teams have those plays. But overall, team defense has been much improved. And a lot of that has to do with guys like Mikheyev and Dickinson. So that's why they're so important to be out there, especially, against a team like Edmonton.
Greg, really appreciate it, man. Have a great Halloween and enjoy the game tomorrow night.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
There you go. That's Greg Boysen joining us from Chicago. The Blackhawks come to town tomorrow night and should be a good tilt. 3:37. When we return, We're going to be talking some in the community, which would be good. A little music, a little fun. Also, more on the orders. Got a lot of texts, lots of other texts coming. Hey guys, how long is Bouchard lease? He makes mistakes all the time. There's no repercussions for him. From Trey. Well, Trey, I'll say this. I think your top players do get a longer leash to start, but eventually, like if the leash just erodes, and I would say now it's a really short leash. I think if Evan Bouchard has a glaring giveaway in tomorrow's game after he has it, I would be stunned if the coach doesn't sit him down. Now, not for the rest of the game. I don't think he's going to go over the top. I think he's just going to do it like he's done. If you look at his reputation of when he does give guys, in his words, a reset, it's not for a game. It's not for a period. It's for a quarter of a period, maybe, a third of a period. And that's where it starts. And then it's up to the player to say, okay, I got to get better here. Because it's all how you react. Look at Darnell Nurse. Darnell Nurse, since his mention to start the second period against Utah, it's been quite good. Played very well yesterday. Was much more engaged, was using his legs, was moving his feet. And you heard that from the head coach when it comes to Bouchard. They really wanted to move his feet. So we'll see if that improves here down the stretch. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. If you were Chris Knobloch, I know some people put him in the press box. I think it's way too over the top to do that. I think you give him the opportunity, you send the message during a game, and then you give him an opportunity to react and respond and say, okay, message, point taken. We'll see if he does that or not. We'll take a quick break. We'll return. It's the Jason Gregor Show. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Want some good news? St. Albert Dodge is holding the biggest sale of the year on their in-stock Ram 1500 Sports. Every single one on the lot is discounted by a whopping $14,000. Yeah, 14 grand. And St. Albert Dodge has the best selection in Alberta. Over 90 Ram 1500 Sports to choose from, with great packages, including the Night Edition and GT models, all $14,000 off the ticket price. Get down there and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Wow, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Since 1971, The Brick has been committed to saving you more. Right now, hurry in to save up to $1,000 off sofas and sectionals, up to 40% off mattresses, and up to 35% off furniture. Plus, buy any 3 select major appliances and save 15% off. And if you find a lower price before the end of the year, including Black Friday and Boxing Day, we'll refund the difference. Some exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
No fluff, no fillers, just pure entertainment. Sports 1440 brings the heat with bold opinions, big personalities, and Edmonton's fiercest fans. This is your turf. This is Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Get ready, Edmonton. Glow Christmas Festival returns to light up the Edmonton Expo Center from December 4th to 31st with dazzling activities for the entire family. Wander the glowing trails, meet Santa in his sleigh, and shop from over 30 local artisans and vendors with handcrafted gifts and holiday treasures, perfect for everyone on your list. Get your tickets and learn more about what's on this season by visiting the calendar of events at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
Mr. Rooter meets a ghost.
1 plunge, 2, and 3. A toilet clogged with a ghost? Man, I love plumbing. You're free now.
I will never find peace. The clog is fixed, yes, but I have never trusted the sump pump.
No problemo. I can fix that. Now go to the light, you little scamp.
Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
To resolve your unfinished plumbing business, trust one plumber, Mr. Rooter.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's AquaCentral reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Prostate cancer affects 1 in 6 men in Alberta, and this November we're fighting back. Every dollar raised fuels early detection and life-saving support. Donate today for the men in our province. Visit keepitinalberta.ca to start your fundraiser or donate today.
I hear the train a
Backed by popular demand, Folsom Prison Revisited. The story of one of the greatest concerts in history returns to the Jubilee Auditorium November 22nd. Step back in time before, during, and after this iconic Johnny Cash performance. You'll relive an event that changed the life of Johnny Cash and changed music forever. Tickets at Ticketmaster.ca and the Jubilee box office. Brought to you by Stars and Stories Live.
When it comes to choosing a hair clinic, the difference is in the doctor.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. Transforming how you feel about yourself is a very personal experience, and I'll work directly with you every step of the way.
Physicians come from all over the world to learn from Dr. Elliott.
When your personal goal is to help other people achieve theirs, you must deeply understand the latest treatments.
Want to feel confident and comfortable? The difference is in the doctor.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott at drvanceelliott.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Enjoy a taste of Hawaii with Papa John's Aloha Trio. Try the classic Hawaiian, Super Hawaiian, or Hawaiian barbecue chicken pizzas for only $19.99 each at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
Tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday continues on as we get closer and closer to first pitch tonight, Game 6. The Blue Jays take it on the LA Dodgers in what could be the final game of the 2025 MLB season, because the Jays win, baby. And guess what? They win the World Series, and whew, I have a lot of fun. That would be a pretty big deal, no question about it. And hey, I know I saw the tweet. They're saying, hey, Jays won in 6 in 92. They won in 6 in 93. The Raptors won in 6 with Kawhi and the boys here just recently. So, hey, maybe it's lucky number 6 for T.O. We'll see. There's lots of we got some text. Hey, guys, it's really hard for me to cheer for the Jays because I hate the Maple Leafs so much. From Mike. Yeah, I get that, Mike, but it is 2 different leagues, right? It is because I will say this. I think this version of the Toronto Blue Jays is a very likable team, right? Like, is there a player on the team that you're like, God, I really don't like him? It's hard. Like, who could you not like? They seem pretty down to earth, pretty laid back. They have a lot of fun. You know what? Like Vladimir Guerrero in the regular season, you know what? Like, he wasn't like this dominant superstar that everybody's looking at to carry the load. Bo Bichette was pretty good. George Springer was probably their best player, top to bottom. Obviously got hurt. Dalton Varsho, when he was in the lineup, not dealing with injury, was unreal, right? And they had a boatload of pitchers come in, and obviously, Max Scherzer's gotten way better late in the year. Bieber, ever since he acquired Trey Savage, like that changed things a lot. Varland, that's been a massive trade deadline acquisition. So, look at Mason Fluharty. He's come out of the pen, and I know he's getting a lot of rough time now, but, Brandon Little did a lot in the regular season to help him get to the playoffs and get a home field advantage. People sometimes, I think, forget that. Like, he made the most appearances. He was pretty good. Yeah, he had a real rough outing in the ALCS. No question about it. And he admitted it, man, I didn't throw very well. But he did play a pretty big factor in them winning a lot of games in the regular season, for sure. So, hey, boys, I have a hard time cheering for any sports team in Toronto. There's just something wrong about it. From Doug. Well, some people would like it. That's okay. That's all right.
I can understand beef with the Leafs, of course. I think of the Raptors and the Jays as truly Canada's teams in their sports. I don't look at them the same way. The Leafs we have legitimate beef with, but the Raptors and the Blue Jays, especially in the World Series, it's more of a national play.
Yeah, that's probably fair. Hey, guys, I've seen a few videos of the orders from last season. It seemed like Perry and Kane had no problem calling out teammates. I'm wondering if there's anyone currently that has personality and status to do that. Nurse, maybe, or does it have to be the playoffs before they take it seriously? Well, it's like anything, Craig. We don't have the videos that they show from the playoffs in the regular season. Kane didn't play in the regular season, so it definitely wouldn't have been him. Corey Perry, and challenging, I think, is better than calling out. Right, I think it's probably more realistic. Corey Perry knew kind of what to say, when to say it, and Matthias Ekholm, I think, will speak up when something has to be said for sure. But I think that is definitely a valid point, no doubt. Now let's get to the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home of the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your furnace. Stay warm all winter at legacyheating.ca. Of course, Cam, born with cerebral palsy. He's in a wheelchair, but he was wheeling around the halls here at Sports 1440 all the time. And Cam's always wanted to be in radio. And now through the wonders of technology, his words come to life. In the 2-minute warning on Friday, Tater gets me to read his words. So here's me reading Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. There's a question that's been rattling around my head like a nickel in a dryer. And I'll warn you, this one's got teeth. You see, the job of anyone who dares scribble their name beneath an opinion, whether newsprint, radio script, or cafe napkin, is not to hand out answers like popcorn at a ballpark. It's to pry open the mind, the heart, and occasionally the national soul. So picture this Thursday evening. I'm in a West Edmonton basement, the kind with wood paneling, John Deere calendars, and a Blue Jays throw blanket that hasn't been washed since Joe Carter's swing in 1993. 3 generations huddled around a TV. Grandpa Earl with his molasses slow wisdom, his daughter Susan clutching a Mark Shapiro mug, and a 12-year-old Wyatt wearing a Bo Bichette jersey 2 sizes too big. The Jays, Canada's team, are possibly 4 hours from being crowned taking a stranglehold in the World Series. And then it hit me. Somewhere between the 7th inning stretch and another Vladdy line drive, what if Alberta wasn't part of Canada anymore? Would Grandpa Earl still mutter prayers to St. Joe Carter of walk-offs? Would Susan still buy overpriced postseason hoodies from the MLB shop in Toronto? Would young Wyatt, heart wide open, dreams bigger than center field, still choose the Jays if his country wasn't Canada, but something called the Sovereign Republic of Alberta? Let that sit for a moment. Like jaw on Grandma Anderson's sticky bun, jam on Grandma Anderson's sticky buns, warm from the oven and morally irresistible. Because if the Jays win tonight, I'm wagering they might. The phrase Canada's team will fly coast to coast like a loony on a Tim Hortons commercial. Pride, unity, maple leaf euphoria. But if Alberta ever went its own way, would these blue caps and jerseys still feel like ours, or like souvenirs from a country we used to call home? And the grandchildren, these Wi-Fi raised, TikTok glued future voters, would they inherit the Jays or look elsewhere for heroes in new color, new flags? Maybe there is no right or wrong, but there are stories, and there are loyalties, and there are answers. Find me on X at Cam Tate. Tell me, in separate Alberta, would we still stand for the 7th inning stretch? Cam Tate, the 2-minute warning. Yeah, I get your point, Tater. It was not to mind it either. Sometimes you got to bring up the uncomfortable topics, and it is one that all I'll say is I think people are a little misguided in thinking it would be a smart decision. You just have to. How are you exporting and importing anything when you're landlocked? Just answer the question. That's my very simple question. Like, what are we talking about here? Come on, be serious. We need to be a little bit smarter about that. Just my thoughts on that. Now, we got a special guest in studio, a man who we might have to get him to sing. This might be the best voice we've had in studio in a while. Local musician Timothy Noel, who's got a big event coming up next Saturday, helping out Ronald McDonald House, which is a fantastic charity. Probably doesn't get enough play, and how awesome Ronald McDonald House is and what they do in the community to help a lot of families when they're going through the worst time and having a child very sick, usually at the Stollery, and then you can stay there. Tim, how you doing, man? Good to see you again.
I'm fantastic. I'm tired, but I'm well.
You're tired, but well. Now, are you a big baseball guy?
Not really, but you get interested because you get more interested when it's a Canadian team. And it's funny, we had a rehearsal last night, and the drummer he's playing, but like looking at his phone, checking it out. Yeah, and I couldn't even blame him. I couldn't blame him.
Yeah, well, it's literally I can't say once in a lifetime because obviously it happened in 92 and 93, but it's been a long time, and so people, it's like. I thought Connor McDavid said it very well the other day. Sports is supposed to bring people together, right? And that's what it does.
100%.
You don't have to be a baseball fan all year long, but if you're suddenly like, you know what, I'm kind of into the Jays here.
Oh yeah,
it's fun, right? It's like a music concert. You go to a music concert, you don't necessarily have to love, every song the musician has, but you're in a sold out crowd. And I was at the Morgan Wallen concert because my son really likes him. I'd never been there, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty fun. Like, it was awesome, right? So music and sports kind of intertwine sometimes to bring lots of people together.
100%. Like that's one of the best things about it. It just, people don't even have to understand or know anybody around them, but they can just be locked into this moment. What's his name? There's a guy I used to listen to a lot, Jordan Peterson. I used to listen to him a lot. He got a little weird lately, but whatever. An Albertan, but he said that that one of the reasons everybody loves music is because it takes chaos and it just aligns it, and everybody knows that it is done well. Like, they don't have to understand music, but when it's done well, and everybody can just lock into that moment and just have a good time.
Now you're a singer and obviously big into Motown. What and I grew up I love Motown. My father first introduced me to Elvis Presley and Buddy Holly, and then he really got me into Marvin Gaye and the Temptations and the Four Tops. And man, I still have a lot of that music on my phone because it reminds me of my father. But what got you into Motown?
My story is kind of funny. I grew up conservative Christian in my household, and we didn't really play any secular music in the house.
Really? So what music would you play?
Gospel.
Okay.
Gospel music. Lots and lots of gospel music.
Okay.
And
so were you like at church, like in the movies there, everybody's singing hallelujah?
I'm telling you. Hold on. Do you remember the article that you did some years ago? It was like during the decade of darkness. And you were saying that like around the Oilers, how like the energy, like something should be kind of done. Maybe there's something wrong with the energy.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember reading that, and some of the people in the comments were like, what is he talking about? But I remember that it's like, they need to bring the Oilers down to my old church.
Okay.
Like, I'm telling you, like, it's literally, it's one of those it's one of those ones, it's crazier than you see on TV, to be honest.
Okay.
But it was like, they need some of the old ladies like singing some songs and some tambourines and, just get everybody really hyped up. I grew up around that.
Okay.
And but it's funny, so every time we get in the car, like my mother really like, she moved to New York in 1970, and so that was like right in the middle of it. So back in the day when 1260, there was a little while where it was like oldies 1260.
Oh yeah, it was old. Well, that's on John Short, man. He used to have he was on at night, 9 to midnight, and it was oldies the rest of the time.
That's right. So I would I would listen to it, and I had my radio, and I would listen to certain things, and there's that time, it was timeless back then, but then like now it's still like amazing, like 50 years later.
Yeah.
And so now that I started performing it back in, it was about 2013 when I started doing secular music. And I was in a show with an artist named Crystal DeSantos at the Citadel. And it was a Motown show. And I was learning a lot of these songs because there's a difference between listening to it and then doing background parts and actually performing it. And so when I started to really do a deep dive, and I was like, this stuff is just fantastic. And like, I would go to karaoke at On the Rocks and places like that, right? And I would sing those songs, and I was just like, man, people really love this. People love this music. So it was just one of those things. I do all sorts of music, but Motown is one of my favorites to perform.
And so there's a big event next Saturday, the 8th of September at Festival Place, featuring yourself and, of course, the Rear Views.
Yes.
All tickets for $5 from every ticket sold goes to the Ronald McDonald charity. You can get tickets at festivalplace.ca. So it's Motown. So you're doing like all the top ones from Marvin Gaye to the Temptations. Yeah.
The Temptations, the Four Tops, Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, but I'm actually slipping some other stuff in. I'm going to do some Frank Sinatra. I'm going to be doing some Bobby Darin. I'm going to do some Lionel Richie. So it's a mix. It's a mix of like just classics, and I'm playing with some of the best musicians around. Like, they're really good, like really good. We're almost sold out. Festival Place opened up another batch of premium tickets up at the front.
Okay.
And then there's some other tickets that are available in spatters, but yeah, we're really loving the support and just loving them. You know, I don't have a crazy social media following. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't have any. I'll actually be releasing my first single in conjunction with this show.
Are you gonna perform your single?
I am gonna perform.
Okay,
it
what's
there,
the
yeah.
name of it?
Right here.
Right here.
Right
Okay.
here, yeah.
All right.
And but I just
Is that going to be available afterwards?
You betcha.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right.
So
you send it to us. We'll play it on the show.
Real thanks.
Oh
man.
yeah,
That's
100%, buddy. Yeah. Con Man is always the musician over there. He's always looking for new songs for intro.
Thanks,
so we'll
brother.
hit it on that. We love promoting the local guys for sure and gals. So yeah, we'll be all over that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great night. There's gonna be some nostalgia. Like I grew up here, and I'm the unk. I'm hearing guys in their 30s say they're unk now. I'm like, come on, guys. But like my partner, her name's Dee. She's from St. Vincent in the Grenadines.
Okay.
And she's been in the city for about 6 years. And so everywhere driving around, and I do this with my kids too. Hey, you see that? That used to be called the Rat Hole. Go to Winners we go to Winners, you know, over in Mayfield Common. That used to be Centennial Mall. I don't know if you know that, but you know, so I walk around and I do all that. And so there's gonna be some of that imagery and just celebrating the capital region and this awesome part of the world.
Now, I met you actually. Obviously, you performed actually one of our karaoke contests many moons ago. That's when I first met you,
Mhm.
and I think I might have met you through Abby, if I'm not
Abby
mistaken.
and Jesse.
Yeah, because I met Abby when just him and I used to on Sunday long weekends. He did karaoke. And I strolled in there one night, not knowing what it was, and we ended up going after our group of buddies. And him and I just became kind of social friends because of it. And he can really sing. Like he's still probably the best guy I've ever seen sing Prince live at a karaoke contest by far. Like he could absolutely kill it.
Abby is like an encyclopedia for songs. He'll pull out all sorts of genres, all sorts of stuff. And it's funny, so I don't remember, we were called the Blackout.
Yes. Oh, I remember.
And I don't know if I can tell this story, but it was,
well, why not? It's Positive Friday.
It's Positive Friday indeed. So one night it was a Sunday night when there was karaoke on the Rocks Sunday night, and there was my buddy Jesse Lipscomb, and there was Abby, but we didn't know we were gonna all be there at the same time. Like I had actually, funny story, that was like I only started going to bars at all when in 2014. I was 36.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know much about karaoke or anything like that, but it was kind of this new little outlet that I had post separation. So I walk in and I see these two. I see Jesse, who I've known since my teens, and then I see Abby, and we went put up songs and we went back to back to back. And so Jay Hilderman, the DJ, he's like, I don't think I've ever seen 3 black guys go back to back to back in karaoke in all my years. He's like, ladies and gentlemen, we have a blackout. We look at each other, it's like, should we be mad? Nah, that's our new name. So that's how that whole thing started. And that was so much fun when you would do the kings and queens of karaoke. And
oh yeah, we had people took it there. We had some real talented people.
Hey man, we got together, we worked on steps, we worked on harmonies and all that, and then we won that year, which was one of the highlights.
Like I still remember the lady, and I can't remember her name. She did the Little Mermaid, and she had like a whole stage with like water, water bubbles coming up, and she was singing and she could really sing, and she had in a Little Mermaid costume, and I was like, oh my god! Like I remember a lot of people, because we'd do it for charity and it was fun, and people like this is like a really good show for $50. Like and I'm getting drinks here, like because $50
and to a good cause.
Yeah, and it was great. We had I'd love to bring that back one more time.
I'm pretty sure I emailed you on like, so when's this thing happening?
No, we should do it. It's a lot of work to organize it, but I might have to bring it back one more time. That was fun. We had a lot of good times doing that. So your event, of course, is next Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't like to put you on the spot, but could you give us a little tease on what you're going to sing? Can you just sing on the spot a cappella or what?
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
One of my favorite songs to sing, Ain't Too Proud to Beg.
Oh.
I don't know if I'll be on the right key, but I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go. If I have to beg and plead for your sympathy, I don't mind, 'cause you mean that much to me. Ain't too proud to beg, sweet darling. Please don't leave me, girl. Don't you go. Ain't too proud to plead, baby, baby. Please don't leave me, girl.
Attaboy, Timmy.
Hey, thank you.
So that's kind of what there's a few tickets left. You want to get them for next Saturday. It's the 8th of October, Festival Place. $5 from every ticket sold goes to the Ronald McDonald Day House of Charity. It was fantastic charity, by the way. I love that you're teaming up with them. They do so much in the community, and I think at times maybe get overlooked, and they help so many families in one of the worst times of their life when they got sick kids. So now, what kind of when you're on stage now and you're going Motown, like, do you have like the Motown outfit, man?
I just got this jacket. I just got this jacket. I don't want to listen. So if you see any of the ads, you'll see that I'm wearing like this black and gold jacket.
Yeah.
Again, I told you about Dee already. I talk about her every show.
Okay. Is
she
like the wardrobe queen?
Well, she's the inspiration.
Okay.
And actually, yes, because I would have never bought that gold jacket that I got. And then she got it for me I had this big show at Blues on White, and out comes this jacket. And then ever since then, I'm like, yeah, I like this. I'm gonna start flashing it up.
Oh, you got it, buddy.
Oh man.
Hey, look good, feel good. Right?
We're not mailing it in. We're not mailing it in at all. I have 5 background singers.
Oh,
yeah, 5 background singers. I have a 5-piece horn section, and we're gonna have a quartet plus like the big bass. Like at points it'll be a 21-piece band behind me, man. Not mailing it in.
Oh my God, this is gonna.
It's been crazy. Like I still got a day job and been trying to do this, and but like. It's gonna be one hell of a night. It's gonna be such a good night.
Tim and the featuring the rear views. He's gonna debut his new debut single. We look forward to it. You make sure you send us a copy of it because the Con Man. We're gonna put it into our show. We look forward to talking again, man. Thanks so much coming in. Thanks for being a good sport and singing on the spot, buddy. We appreciate it. We got a lot of texts coming in from people saying, "Dude, that guy, no warm up, no music. That's talent for many of our texters."
Hey.
So, attaboy. So there you go, Timmy. Thanks, man. And positive Friday. Go Jays.
Go Jays.
There you go. That's Timothy Noel. He'll be in concert next Saturday, The Way We Were, at Festival Place. You can get your tickets, festivalplace.ca. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Loca. 2 locations, Sherwood Park and Edmonton, all healthy food. And you can even order it online, loca.ca. Pick it up, 200 chef-prepared meals. Make eating easy and healthy. Loca.ca.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Game 6 of the World Series from Toronto tonight. Dodgers trailed the Jays 3-2 in this one. Bluebirds sending Kevin Gausman to the mound. Dodgers will counter with Yoshi Yamamoto. In the NHL right now, Avs up on the Golden Knights 2-0 in the third period. Later on, you get the Caps and the Islanders. And at 8 o'clock, Red Wings in Anaheim taking on the Ducks. And the Association Toronto Raptors are in action this evening with NBA Cup through play getting going. Cavs taking them on 6:30 for that one. You also have the Knicks and the Bulls. Grizz, Lakers, Jazz take on the Suns, and the Clippers hosting the Pelicans. In the BCHL, Spruce Grove and Black Falls, while the Crew hosting Okotoks. Both those games start at 7. In the AJ, you've got 4 games, including Bobcats hosting the Thunder and Whitecourt in Fort Mac. At the collegiate level, Golden Bears hockey team in Langley taking on Trinity Western tonight and tomorrow. Canada's on the flip side will host Trinity tonight down at the Drake at 7. McEwen men's hockey, they will host the Dinos at the DCA puck drop at 7. The women in Calgary at 6. And collegiate football down south. Number 25, Memphis heads to Houston, taking on Rice. That gets going in 1 hour. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Craig Button from the NHL and PSN and ask 5 questions. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we believe that life shouldn't hurt. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't know that sometimes it really hurts. I mean, we've seen people at their worst moments in life, when they feel they have nowhere to turn, or at a time when they felt like their problem just wouldn't ever go away. We've also seen people who thought to themselves, it'll just go away on its own, or this is no big deal. I don't want to bother anyone about this. Don't know where to turn to, or think it's no big deal. Either way, we have the technology, techniques, and skills to help you get back to it, whatever your it may be. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
You've probably heard the term supply and demand. Something is needed and someone supplies it. We're GS Construction, and we're in the supply and demand business with you. Edmonton and the surrounding area continue to grow. Infrastructure has to be continually replaced and upgraded to keep up with demand. You see it with new buildings and new roads, but what about below ground, where all sorts of pipes bring you water and take wastewater away? That's where we come in. For more on what we do, go to gsconstruction.ca.
Monopoly Double Play is back at McDonald's. So let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand. And go.
Yes!
I said 25 grand.
That's what I'm talking about! Yeah!
Much better. Okay, now you just won a brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think she just fainted. Impressive. Feel like a winner on pack and in-app. Monopoly Double Play is back. While supplies last, 1 in 5 chances to win game piece prizes at outset. Chances to win draw prizes depend on number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes payable by e-transfer. See rules in-app.
Hey there, this is your wake-up call. It's time to change to your winter tires. Unless you want to be sliding and swerving around icy roads like you're some kind of dummy. Head to Big Toy Shop and get it done right for a great price. We won't lie to you, inflate your bill, or waste your time. Time to change your tires. Big Toy Shop.
Brought to you by
Argyle Road.
Tire. It's
780-298-2797.
Game day sauce.
Buddy, quit rolling up to the bar and looking like it's grade 9 grad and you're wearing your dad's old work suit. Do yourself a favor and call Game Day Suits.
Game Day Suits is Alberta-based and makes fully customizable, made-to-order suits. Perfect for hockey teams, wedding parties, or even the office crew. Book your free consultation at GameDaySuits.ca.
I'm rocking one right now. I look deadly.
You know they can't see you, right?
Okay, Mr. Announcer, you want to go, tough guy?
Game Day Suits.
An electrical solar team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy, designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio, from weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden, rotator cuff tears and tendonitis to post-surgical knees and hips. We fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
just after 4 o'clock on a positive Friday. Man, I still can't over. Timmy can really pipe him out there. That was unreal. So if you like that genre of music, and like you said, he's in Frank Sinatra, The Temptations, Marvin Gaye, Luther Van. He's got the horn. I love horns, man. Like, honestly, if you've ever been to a live concert with horns, it's phenomenal. They kill it. And so doing all of that at Festival Place next Saturday, recommend going. This is the Jason Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Lotto Max tonight. Get in at PlayAlberta.ca. And hey, our pick of the day, come on, it's Captain Obvious today. You got to go with it. The Toronto Blue Jays to win tonight, baby, and take home. And guess what? The Jays are they're the underdog. What the hell's going on? Taking the Jays for sure. I know Yamamoto's on the mound. I get it, but how do you not go? How do you not go for the Jays tonight? To me, you just have to. They got home field advantage. They got all the momentum. I think they're playing well. Obviously, Yamamoto is very, very good. But our Play Alberta pick of the day today, we are going the Toronto Blue Jays.
If you watch the Olympics and you cheer by default for every Canadian athlete, as you should, the Jays in the World Series, it's an Olympic level event for Canadians.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair, right? Because it gets a lot of people from lots of different parts of the country cheering together, right? It is unique. And you look at I've seen some videos already around Toronto. And actually, you know what? Because I got a call from someone who had 3 tickets for me to go, but I couldn't get a flight the only flight, because all the flights in the morning were sold out. So he could have gotten a flight at 12:30, but it wouldn't have landed until 6:30, 6:35. And then you're like, okay, well, if it lands, then you got to drop your bags off somewhere. And it just the timing, I was like, well, what if the plane's delayed, right? Like, we'd have to pay for the tickets. but they were still, not at like crazy online price, like still expensive, but not crazy. And so I was a little perturbed because I was like, oh my God, we're going to go to the World Series. It's be unreal. Like I would have been there rather than being here today, but unfortunately didn't pan out. Because that's one of those things where I look and say, you know what, like you'll never know. Like honestly, you never know any like Oiler fans with the people I know they were talking to them like, oh, you guys traveled to Florida. Like, why would you do that? I'm like, why? I was working, but I can understand why fans do it because you don't know when it's going to happen again. The Oilers haven't won the Cup since 1990. The Jays haven't won since 1993. Like there's no guarantee they'll ever win again. Ask Maple Leaf fans. Look at the Cubbies. Look at the Red Sox. They went 100 years.
I saw the Texas Rangers defeat the Giants.
You were at that game
in Texas. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was there. I witnessed it. It was underwhelming because I thought it'd be like a way bigger party. They were just kind of like, oh, and they went into the dugout. Toronto would be an entirely different atmosphere. The level.
No, how was it outside the stadium? Now, did they win the whole? Like they won the chat. So that was
it. Yeah.
And outside the stadium, there was nothing.
Nope. Everybody just went home. Yeah, it was really weird.
That is very weird.
And they had the trophy and they celebrated.
It's not like Texas. Oh, we won like our 4th in 5 years.
Nope. And they just went into the dugout and that was that. But Toronto, entirely different atmosphere. They're going crazy in Toronto if they win the World Series.
Oh yeah, 100%. Right, like because there's people that are big baseball fans, and everybody has a team, right? Like doesn't matter what your team is. It happens to be the Jays, so there's maybe more people that cheer for them. But if you're a Dodgers fan and they win, you're pretty damn excited, right? Like they're, when the Oilers win, you're pretty excited, right? If you're a Tampa Bay fan, even if you don't live in Tampa Bay, when they win, you're pretty excited. So I get it. It will be, in a city like that is that big. That's why I'm kind of surprised that when the Rangers won, there wasn't more of a party. That's kind of weird. Like, is the stadium kind of out of no man's land? I've never been there.
Yeah, like it's definitely down a freeway and everything like that. But even in the stadium, like I was really taken aback by how like little celebration there was. And it's not like
But didn't the Giants win though?
That make more sense. I can't remember who won because I had about 15 Texas-sized beers.
Yeah, I'm sure the Giants won. I don't recall the Rangers ever.
But there was no celebration. Was my point? Was it they just take the trophy?
Well, yeah, they were on the road though.
But still, just there was no TV cameras. There was nothing.
It was all in the clubhouse.
All in the clubhouse.
Okay, so there's nothing to watch.
There's nothing to watch.
Even if you're a Giants fan on the road, you got to see like them celebrate for 2 minutes.
And even if you're a Texas fan that just lost, like there's something that be said about the opponent skating around with the cup on your ice.
No, right? That's fair.
I had no dog in the fights. I don't quite honestly remember who won. I just remember I was there. But
that makes more sense now that Texas didn't party. And I was like, hey, wait a second.
But Texans even leaving there, like it wasn't like it didn't feel like a championship game. Is my only point.
Yeah,
it didn't have that big.
What about Bill? Like, what about before the game?
No, the whole time we were like marveling at how little activity there was for it. Yeah. We thought there'd be like games out front and like activations. You know what I mean? Like, hit a tater, win a hat, that type. No.
They were down 3-1. They're probably just packing it in.
Wow. So who won? San Francisco won?
Yeah.
Of course. That makes more sense, but still.
Yeah.
What was it Tuesday night or something? Like this is Friday, Saturday.
It doesn't matter what night of the week it is, dude.
It changes a little bit.
No.
Friday, Saturday, people are going to let loose a little more.
Florida won on a Monday night. And in Florida, a non-hockey market. And I walked out of the arena. And now the few bars that were close to the rink were jammed with Panther fans on a Monday night. So
that's Florida.
Yeah. Now, even if the road team wins, like, there's a somber mood leaving. But like if the Jays win, it's a massive city. And here's the thing I always say, there's going to be, just because life had their numbers of percentages. Everybody, baseball is a very percentage number. So you've got millions of people. Now you're going to have some people who aren't even baseball fans. And there'll be a few idiots in a crowd of hundreds of thousands. There's going to be a few idiots. So unfortunately, if they win, they'll probably see something dumb, but that doesn't resonate for the majority. When you consider how many people, if they win, will be in the streets, and then how many idiots will do something stupid, right? Like even, I know like when Edmonton, the worst thing was, luckily it was a few pallets in the middle of the street that got lit on fire. No real damage. There's a few dummies that broke some windows, which obviously isn't important. Now, I would just look at, to me, if I was running the city, I'd be like, we're getting the police, we're shutting the street down, and we're getting the police on the sidewalks, so the fans are in the street. What are you going to do? Like, there's nothing to wreck in the streets, right? It's concrete, pavement, it's asphalt. There's nothing you can do. Well, when you have dummies walking by an open window, let's break it. Like, So that's what I would do different. If they had it again, I'd have the policeman on. And I even talked to some of my police buddies. Oh, trust me. Now, shut the street down. It's okay. People will survive. They can drive somewhere else. You don't have to drive on White Ave or Jasper Ave, whichever one you choose, shut down at that moment. And get everybody walking down the streets, having fun, because the vast, vast majority just want to celebrate and have a good time. So it might happen tonight. We'll see. I hope it does. I'll be rooting for it. I'm into to watching the team. I'll tell you that right now. They're a fun team to watch. I enjoy watching the Jays. No question.
When the Edmonton Capitals won the NABL championship in 2011, I was in attendance and I was so enthused.
Are you sure they won?
Yeah, I looked it up to make sure. I remembered this clearly because I didn't have any beer, but I did kick a pylon over outside the baseball stadium after, so I felt like they deserved a little riot, just a little one.
Kicking
Just
over a pylon.
one pylon. Good for them. They won.
There you go.
I'd had some beer.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Kicking over a pylon. What a rebel.
One single one.
What a rebel. Hey, guys, that Tim guy could really sing. Do you think he could sing some common sense into the orders? That's a great segue, Mike. It's a great segue. Hey, it's now this I think at some point you look and say, okay, slow start. Yeah, that's the MO of the orders. Okay, that's what they've done for a few years. But it doesn't mean you can accept it like, okay, it's just okay. Because there's no, if I was to wager, do I think the orders will play more consistent? Yes. Do I think the slow start can cost them home ice advantage again? Yes. And that becomes a problem. So you can't always do the same. Now, I know they're going to say, hey, we started slow. We made it to the Stanley Cup final, so it works. Yeah, sure. I get that. I get that argument. But you can't tell me in the back of their mind, the orders are like, hey, you know what? I'm going to have another giveaway. It doesn't matter. We're going to make it to the Stanley Cup final. No, there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee. And anytime you give away points that you should have, where you blow a 3-0 lead, you blow a 3-1 lead. And yes, you do get a point, but you've dropped now 2 points because you could have had 4 instead of 2 in those games where for long stretches you were the better team. And that's the orders. They'll still, for 40 minutes or 50 minutes, they'll look like Stanley Cup contender. And then for another 10 minutes, they can look like lottery team. And you can't, it's not ideal to have. To me, it's too much of an emotional swing. I think they mentally get fatigued more because of that. I don't have data to back it up, but I'd have to look at it. I've talked to a psychologist. But when you hear players getting tired, I'm not sure it's physical tired more than the mental wear and tear of looking at the standings. Oh my God, we're 6 points behind. We're 16 points behind, whatever the number is. And now you got to chase. And so with every opportunity that you waste, it increases your chances of having to chase for home ice advantage longer. Right. And that's now the good news for the orders is they're 2 points out of first place in the Pacific. So you have to be rational. Vegas has 15, LA has 14, Seattle has 13, Edmonton has 13. Now, Seattle has 2 games in hand, as does Vegas. Vegas is currently losing to Colorado. So if they lose that game in hand, they're 2 points ahead of the orders with 1 game in hand. So it's definitely not, catastrophic yet by any stretch of imagination. I don't want to be hyperbolic and oh my God, they're ruining their chances. No, but they do have a tendency to make life more difficult than it should be. That's all I'll say. So we'll see where it goes. Now, let's take a quick break. When we come back, Craig Button is going to join us. Later on, we got Spec, LT, and more on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Use the code Gregor50. You make a $50 deposit, use the code, they will match it. So 2 for 1, Gregor50 at PlayAlberta.ca.
Looking for the perfect gift? Give the gift of great taste with a Loca Quality Market gift card. Redeemable at any Loca Quality Market or Loca operated restaurant. It's a treat for food lovers. Ready anytime. Grab yours today at loca.ca.
Wondering what you
Virtual
can afford?
karaoke or anything?
Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure,
No,
no
we were
awkward combos.
we were gonna
just
all be
quick
there at the same
answers on
time.
your
Like I had
budget and
actually
payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text check to 780-777-7777. That's check to 780 all 7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
A Saskatchewan boy who grew up loving and playing sports. At least we think he grew up. Listen to Kevin Carius weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
When pumpkins glow and night turns chill, there's one fall treat that fits the bill. A pizza shaped like a jack-o'-lantern with smiling pepperoni pattern. Thin golden crust, so cheesy and tasty. Get yours now, better be hasty. It's only around for a limited time for a spooktacular price, $17.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, yes, it's true. Papa John's Jack-O'-Lantern Pizza is coming for you. Spookily and proudly locally owned and operated.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
More fruit?
Check.
Satisfying texture?
Check.
3 amazing new recipes?
Check, check, check.
Let Booster Juice bowl you over with something completely different. 3 new acai bowls, loaded with delicious toppings including bee pollen, cacao nibs, and shredded coconut. Piled high on top of a refreshing blend of authentic acai, straight from Brazil. Spoon?
Check.
Booster Juice, Canada's original juice and acai bowl bar.
Japa Machinery Group knows that XCMG may not roll off the tongue, but Japa's team will help keep your construction jobs rolling on time and on budget with heavy equipment sales and rentals. Visit japamachinery.com to find out more.
Horses of this hour brought to you by Cantork. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? Buy Canadian. Cantork's products are not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money, support Canada at Cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday. Welcome back. It is the Jason Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca. Of course, light night in the National Hockey League tonight. Fridays are not overly busy night. There's 3 games on the NHL sched. One going on right now in the third period. The Avalanche leading the Golden Knights 3-1. Brent Burns, the ageless wonder, the guy who just continues to play games, scored his first with the Avs to make it 3-1. The Capitals will host the Islanders, and then the Ducks hosting the Detroit Red Wings as John Gibson returns to Anaheim. So he'll be fired up, probably putting up a few little wagers on the board, as they like to do when they return to their original team. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. You can text us in our email inbox, as it's time now to go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. And you have 10 days left to play your favorite game where you can win all sorts of great prizes. Monopoly, peel like a winner. First time in person and then second time on the app. Double your chances and you'll peel like a winner. Only at McDonald's in Monopoly until November 10th. As we are joined by Stanley Cup champion, former GM and scout in the National Hockey League, now ace analyst and scout for TSN. Craig Button joins us. Mr. B, how you doing?
I am great, Mr. G. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm pretty good. What arena you at tonight?
I'm in Winnipeg. Heading down. I'm on my way to go watch Keaton Beerhoff.
Okay, all right. Hey, well, so did you see
North Dakota, South Engelstad Arena?
Did you see the Jets Blackhawks game last night?
I was in Winnipeg last night,
Yes.
and I'm going to be in Winnipeg on Saturday afternoon for the Pittsburgh game. Yeah, so I was here. I was here, and I was in Winnipeg.
I look at that Blackhawks team, and they're obviously young, and they've got lots of potential coming. Give me your thoughts on their young blue line right now. And you've got guys like Vlasic and Rinzel and Levshunov and Kaiser and Crevier. Can they keep all of them and develop them together? Or do you think maybe eventually you got to move one and add more veteran presence on the back end?
Yeah, well, they're good young defensemen. But, Jason, here's what I'm going to tell you about watching. They have 4 inexperienced defensemen. So you have Rinzel, you have Levshunov, you have Crevier, and you have Mike Kaiser. You can't win in the NHL with 4 inexperienced defensemen on your blue line winning. So now what Kyle Davidson and his group have to manage and assess is, like, what can they do? So you're watching to make sure nobody gets over their heads, and nobody's getting overwhelmed. That's number one. And then number 2 is, what can you do to try to reinforce the group? And, I mean, they're loaded with some great young players in the system that aren't even there right now. So they're going to have opportunities, much like Montreal did in getting Noah Dobson, being able to explore those types of players because they have so many good young players in their system. So, but there's just no way. They're good. That's really good young forwards, but it's just going to be too hard to sustain at the NHL level with that much experience on the blue line.
Yeah, up front, Bedard, Nazar, Ryan Donato's off to another good start. I know Jason Dickinson got banged up. Sounds like he's questionable maybe to play tomorrow against the Oilers, which will obviously hurt them. But Bedard looks quicker, Craig. No surprise, young player. But, Bedard definitely looks a lot quicker this year than he did last season.
Yeah, well, he went and worked on it, right? And Connor Bedard in his first 2 years in the NHL, he was a full-on teenager. He only turned 20 in July. So you watch what he's trying to do. He understands the league a lot better. He understands, what the challenges are. He put a real focus into saying, I got to get quicker, I got to get faster. And there's no question. And because he's got such a lethal release, all he needs to do is create just an extra foot and a half of space. And now that shot becomes even more dangerous. And so that's what you're looking to do. You don't need to create a lot of space. You just got to find just a little bit more. And when you shoot the puck like he does, it just becomes a much greater weapon. I'll say this too, Jason, just as you watch the Hawks in Edmonton on Saturday night, Frank Nazar is a star in the making. This guy's a hell of a player.
What do you like best about Nazar's game?
Well, so I've watched Frank since he was 16 with the National Team Development Program. Comes in as a high-end offensive player. And you know what happens with young players? They come in, they play, that's been their strength. Now it becomes a little bit harder to go up the levels. And then not only that, you go into your draft year, you feel like you're pressing, you're not scoring, you want to impress, you want to show everything you got. And I think that what happened with Frank is, and I mean, he was still a relatively high first-round draft pick, is that after he got through that year, he went to the World Junior, he found that he could be a really good two-way player. And then he became, like, not just a good two-way player, an excellent two-way player. He never lost his offensive game. I see a guy, and he kills penalties, he pushes the pace, he makes plays, he can shoot the puck. And I just think that over the time, from the time he started the National Team Development Program at 16 to now, his game is just rounded out so nicely. I just see he's elite. Jason, and the speed and the quickness, and it's that dynamic speed and quickness that he's on top of you before you know he's on top of you, and then it's too late. And that type of that's intimidating. He's got that type of skating ability.
This week, another big contract signed, Marty Necas, 8 years, $11.5 million for the Avs. What do you think of the deal?
Well, I mean, the market is changed. We know that what's happened with respect to the dollars in the system. I was talking to Ken Holland earlier in the week, and when you think about, Kenny's been in the league for a long, long time, and never before has there been this much certainty in the cap this many years ahead. It was always like the managers would get a look at the cap and say, well, here's what projections are in November. Here's what it looks like for next year. Then they'd come to the Board of Governors meeting in March, and there'd be more certainty with respect to what the cap was going to be. Well, now they've declared what the cap is, and now you can not only project your lineup and project where you're at with respect to your salary commitments. The players also know too. You can't sit down and tell the players, well, we're not sure about the cap and everything. Everybody knows what the cap is going to 113 in 2 years' time. So that changes the dynamic. And all you got to look, Mark Scheifele and Connor Halley on the eve of the 24-25 season signed long-term contracts, just over $8 million. A year later, Kyle Connor signs for $12 million. That's how quickly it changed. And it's going to change again rapidly.
Oh, yeah, no, you kind of have to readjust every time when you see a contract for a certain player and be like, what? Part of it is due to the ever-changing landscape. No question. I wonder, Colorado, if they look back and I like Marty Natchez, but I don't like him nearly as much as I like Mikko Rantanen. And right? I was just going to say, I wonder how that whole Rantanen negotiation thing, how it unfolded, if they would do it differently to have him not leave.
Well, here's the thing, and in fairness to Chris McFarland and the Colorado Avalanche, they didn't know that the cap was going to go up for the next 3 years to this extent. And I think that factored in. He was traded before they got to the announcement of the cap. So there was still a certain level of uncertainty with the Colorado Avalanche and Martin Necas when they were with Mikko Rantanen when they started negotiating that contract.
Yeah, well, part. But I thought last year by February we kind of knew what the cap was going to be. I have to go back and look. Maybe I was wrong. I thought we kind of knew it was coming up that much. But either way, I look at it and, it's one. Hey, Marty Natchez is a really good player and he's going to benefit playing from McKinnon. Those two together might be the fastest duo in the National Hockey League side by side. So they'll definitely be an exciting team. I want to go back to Chicago quickly, Craig. And what can you tell us about the guy who is right now finding himself on Connor Bedard's wing, Ryan Green?
Well, he's a young player. What I would say is Ryan played at BU. He was a second-round draft pick. He's a good, diligent player. My own assessment of Ryan is he's not ready for the NHL. And I think with the other used to have a new lineup, and now you're pushing him. I want a young player like Ryan Green to try to keep building his game. He did that at BU. I'd like to see him keep building his game. It's hard when you're playing that far up the lineup and you're expected to do some things that, quite frankly, I don't think he's ready for. He's smart. He plays the game with a good amount of competitiveness. But right now, in what I've watched from Ryan right now, and I've watched him for a number of years, he looks like a player that's just trying to tread water. That's not good for development.
Yeah, well, hey, thank you. Which leads me to the Ike Howard. I think he's doing more than tread water, Craig. I think he's played pretty well so far for the Edmonton Oilers, and I firmly believe I've had no problem with him being here thus far. But when Zach Hyman returns, I'd like to see Ike Howard in the minors playing 20 minutes a night, because even with 11 forwards, he's playing 9 or 10 minutes.
Go down and do what Matt Savoy did last year in Bakersfield.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you, Jason, 100%. And I think that's you want him to keep building that offensive game. You can't do it playing 9 minutes a night. You want him on the first power play. You want him to play in the key offensive situations. Just get him down and just have him build up his confidence.
Yeah, I think they have to. Craig Button joins us here on TSN. Craig, Evan Bouchard has had quite the pastry-like month of October. Turnovers, numerous ones. He's served up a few more again last night. Some wrong reads and positions. It's not been a good start for Bouchard. Everybody knows. It's funny. Evan Bouchard in the Stanley Cup playoffs has been the last few years one of the best defensemen, if not arguably the best defenseman in the playoffs. Offensively, defensively, it's there. But in the regular season, he just, I don't know if I'm going to say he's Claude Lemieux yet, but Claude Lemieux is that guy who wasn't great in the regular season and killed it in the playoffs. Well, if you're the Edmonton Oilers and you're Evan Bouchard, and he did address it, he goes, hey, I got to be better. So I think he knows it, but how do they get him to be better? Like, does Chris Knobloch, does there come a point where you say, okay, next big mistake, you get to take a seat here, you get to be the grocery stick? What do you think happens?
Well, I think that it's not just Chris Knobloch, it's Mark Stewart, right? And, we talked about, Evan trying to adjust. Paul Coffey came in, and I think he settled down not only Evan Bouchard, but he settled down the defense group. And now you're trying to adjust to Mark's style and how Mark's going to try to push and how Mark's going to try to guide. And I think you have to be patient with that. My belief is with Evan Bouchard and with all good players, he acknowledges that he hasn't been good. And he knows it. I mean, he can reflect on his own game and say, hey, listen, I need to be better. So what do you got to do? What I think you have to do with Evan and all those good players is you take them back and you remind them and show them what they do when they're playing at their best. And you don't have them go out there and be fearful. You don't have, oh my God, I'm going to be on the bench if I make a mistake. I don't think that works. I think you sit down with them. Hey, Evan, this is when you're at your best, and this is what you do. And here's some clips of you, and you want to show him doing what he does best. And sometimes, my dear late friend Brad McCrimmon was a great teacher, and so he'd sit with the players and he'd sit down and say that, and then if there was a little bobble, right? He would just give him a little poke. He goes, remember what we talked about? And he wouldn't just focus in on one play that didn't go right. Just that little reminder. And I've seen it more times than not. I was around Rick Wilson, who was our assistant coach in Dallas. He was tremendous in doing that. So a lot of what I say comes from my own experiences with two wonderful people and great coaches, and Rick Wilson and Brad McCrimmon. So that's how I would approach it with Evan Bouchard. If you want to go and give him the stick and say, next mistake, you're on the bench, or this year you're not going to play, like, what do you think is going to happen with Evan Bouchard? He's not going to be able to be himself, and you won't get the best out of him. And as long as a player acknowledges that, like, he needs to be better and he's working at it, then let's work together and let's get you back to that level.
Yeah, like I'm not a big believer. Like, I look at what they did with Darnell Nurse against Utah. He had a tough first period. He missed a few shifts to start the second, and that was it. Not long, but even for, a top guy, one shift can be like enough to send the message like, oh, geez, I'm out of the rotation here. And, I thought Nurse played excellent yesterday, and I thought actually played well after that. Like I'm not a big believer in embarrassing a player, throwing him in the press box, making a big statement, but a subtle in game one, even missing one or two shifts, like that in itself, a lot of times could just be enough to say, okay, hey, message sent, now go back out and, I believe in you, I trust in you, but like there's still got to be a level of credibility from the coach that, if a guy keeps making mistakes, because it's not like it's one game, right? Like this is not one game for Bouchard. This is a Seattle game. He had some brutal giveaways. Like it's been multiple games now. So I could see why maybe Knobloch, and we've seen him do it. He did it with Draisaitl last year for 6 minutes. He did it with Nurse for 6 minutes. That seems to be his number, Craig, where he's like, okay, a few shifts. Now I'll go back to you guys and let's see what you can do.
Yeah, and I concur with that line of thinking. And certainly, like I like to call it a reset. With Leon last year with penalties, right? Okay, Leon, you need to reset here. It's not helping you. It's not helping the team. Darnell, we need to reset here. It's like a reboot on your computer. Control Alt Delete. Okay, let's clear it. Okay, it reboots. Let's go. Right, and I that's how I see it. And again, you're going to be working with Evan behind the scenes, and you're going to be showing them and showing them the positive, and sometimes it sounds silly, but sometimes you just remind a player, hey, simplify your game, get the puck, make a play, and just get into a rhythm. What do hitters go and do when they're slumping a little bit? They go and put the ball on a tee, and they just practice their swinging through it, right? In the back room, that's all they do. Just trying to find a rhythm of hitting the ball, seeing the ball, and just feeling good about hitting it. And I think that's just another avenue that I'd be working with. But he's too good. He's too good. He's too talented.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that wholeheartedly. Craig, a few of the teams are off to good starts. The Pittsburgh freaking Penguins are leading the league. It's Halloween. I'm like, is this some sort of trick? I don't know. But what do you make of the Penguins? Is it just a good month? Or could the Penguins make us all look like fools by maintaining this all season long? Not first place in the league, but being a legit playoff contender.
Well, I mean, hey, listen, is it just a good month? Yeah, it's a great month for them. Like, I would say that what they've been able to do, Dan Muse, a first-year coach, has gone in there and he's got them. That Kyle Dubas is, he's trying to deal with what was and what still is in terms of Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, Chris Letang, Erik Karlsson, and at the same time trying to infuse some youth into the lineup. And I think you're seeing those things working really well right now. Malkin's been fantastic. Crosby has shown no decline in his game since the day he started in 2005. Letang's played well. Karlsson's played well. And the young kids have played well. Now, Raquel's out, at some point in time, you start to, okay, are they a little bit thin? And I don't think that Kyle Dubas or Dan Muse would look at their team and not think that, like, we have some areas where we're not as strong as we'd like to be. But when you start out like this, there's no reason not to keep trying to build on it. And I think for the Pittsburgh Penguins, like Sidney Crosby, we were all talking. And when I say we, I'm talking about outside in the media and everything in the summer. Well, do you think Sidney Crosby will finish the year in Pittsburgh? Well, Sidney wants to win. Well, he's with the number one team in the league right now. I guess he does want to win. He still wants to do it in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, no, Evgeny Malkin has looked unreal too, Craig.
Yeah, he has, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been really, really good. So it's awesome. Craig, what is your prediction for Game 6 of the World Series tonight?
Well, I mean, they're up against a hell of a pitcher in Yamamoto, but they played well against him in the game that they lost that he pitched. He was really good. I picked the Blue Jays to win the series before the series started, and there's something about this team that just you got Schneider leading off the other day, first pitch home run. George Springer's out, right? You got everybody that's doing something with this team. It doesn't matter what they have. You got players that have been in the minors that find their way back to the majors that have just performed brilliantly. After that 18-inning loss, you thought, okay, and all they do is they come back and not only win. I mean, they kicked the Dodgers to the curbs in Game 4 and 5.
Yeah.
If winning was easy, Jason, everybody would do it.
Mm-hmm.
So why not go up against one of the best pitchers and win it right in Game 6? I picked them to win. I'm picking them to win Game 6, and the celebration begins on Halloween night, and the weekend becomes just a party across Canada.
Oh God, it'll be a lot of fun. Well, enjoy Winnipeg, Craig, and we will talk with you next Friday.
Well, you can talk to me Wednesday too. We can just talk offline.
Yeah, well, that's true. All right, buddy. I'll send you a text.
Okay. Yeah, have a good weekend.
You too. That's Craig Button from TSN. And he's right on Bouchard. Like Bouchard's, I think people know his talent. You've seen it. So you can be frustrated, but you can't just ignore the fact that he's good. He's just got to play better. And now part of coaching is, how do I help the player play better? Obviously, there does come a point where there has to be, hey, we have a standard and we got to adhere to that standard, right? Darnell Nurse had a short little reset. And I'll say that I think if Evan Bouchard, if his giveaways continue in the Chicago game, don't be shocked to see a 6-minute, 7-minute reset for Evan Bouchard. We'll come back with 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Since 1971, The Brick has been committed to saving you more. Right now, hurry in to save up to $1,000 off sofas and sectionals, up to 40% off mattresses, and up to 35% off furniture. Plus, buy any 3 select major appliances and save 15% off. And if you can find a lower price before the end of the year, including Black Friday and Boxing Day, they'll refund the difference. Some exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more. It's a new season, Edmonton, which means it's time for new offers. Play Alberta is offering odds boosts on every Oilers game all season long. This is your chance to score big. And for a limited time only, our listeners can get an exclusive $50 free bet when they deposit $50 using code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for an exclusive $50 free bet. Alberta wins with Play Alberta. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, please use your game sense. PlayAlberta.ca.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. I'm super excited to tell you today that we have fed over 250 families so far with our Feed 500 Families event. With that said, we are still short of our goal. We have decided to continue this on through to the end of October. With your help and your support, we can get this done. Please stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Northwest Crane, available for all your lifting and equipment needs, specializing in selling and servicing cranes. Get lifting at northwestcrane.com.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Friday continues on. How are you? Jason Gregor, Wanye Gretz, Connor Halley. It is a positive Friday, Game 6 of the World Series. You can listen to it right here on Sports 1440 at the conclusion of our show. The pregame show will get going at just after 6 o'clock. Of course, we got pregame tomorrow, 6:30, the Oilers and Cons. You doing that game tomorrow?
No, Walker's back for that
Walker's
one.
back,
Yeah.
okay.
One and done.
One and done. All right. Well, you'll probably be back throughout the year again, doing the pre and the post game show as the Oilers looking to rebound after a disappointing blown lead last night against the New York Rangers. The Oilers kind of went the opposite way. They've had slow starts and then got better last night. Actually had a pretty good start. I know that the Rangers scored first, but the Oilers bounced back, and then they had a 3-1 lead, really in control. And then their power play, honestly, I thought the game changed on their power play in the third period. They got that power play early, and what did they do? They gave up 2 2-on-1s, and it just seemed to give the Rangers momentum. And then the Rangers kept coming, scored 2 goals, tied it, and then won it in overtime. So not a great third period in overtime for the Edmonton Oilers. As it's time for 5 questions brought to you by The Brick. We're saving more. That's what they do. The Brick and thebrick.com. You can save $1,000 right now on furniture, on sectionals and couches, and get 40% off mattresses. The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, guys. Question number 1. Does the World Series end tonight, or are we seeing Game 7? And give me one pick for the X Factor.
I know the script, Connor, and they wanted to go to Game 7 for maximum revenue. That's what Bids want.
Who's the X Factor?
Shohei. Okay. He'll hit a 12-run home run through the roof of the building.
I am going to go with the Toronto Blue Jays. They are the underdog, funny enough, on the betting line today, even though they're at home. Obviously, there's a lot of respect for Yamamoto, but the Blue Jays find a way to get to Yamamoto. And my bold prediction, Barger has a big game and ends up being named World Series MVP.
I like it. Before we get to question 2, Gregor, just because I know you asked Coach Knobloch, did you get any answer about the bleeding and what makes a 2 and a 4-minute penalty?
Yes, I actually asked Dave Jackson. I left my phone at home today, so I'm going to have to kind of remember exactly what he said. But basically, what Dave said was, if you look at the rule, which I did, I went and looked it up at the rule book, and it talked about how there. Because you could argue that, like, let's say you get a stick up on a guy and you club him and it hits him right across the chin and you break his jaw. There's no blood. It's a 2-minute minor. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Now I did see Roslovic. Roslovic had a little cut on the bottom lip, right? And nothing crazy. Basically, what Jackson told me was that there is where the ref can look and say there wasn't intent, right? Like it wasn't a dangerous play, which if you watch it wasn't, right? It was unfortunate lift the stick, but it's not where you take a guy and you're like, Duke, right? Your stick's right in his face. And so you can deem it only a minor penalty. I'm guessing because of the time of the game, that played a factor in it as well. But I did learn something last night that a high stick that draws blood isn't automatically a double minor. I always thought it was, but I was incorrect. It isn't.
Well, we were with you as were all our texters last night. So question 2 for you. If you're Coach Knobloch, are you sticking with 11 and 7 tomorrow night? And if you are, does anyone come or in lineup or out of the lineup?
I put Noah Phil back in the lineup. To me, he's got to get involved. I don't see any reason why he should sit out 3 consecutive games. I don't think he's been that poor. So I would put him in. I would go back to 12 and 6. And I would take Setcher out and I'd put him in.
When is Hyman coming back into the lineup? Do they know exactly?
The earliest is next Saturday. So he misses at least 3 more games. And that's best case scenario. There's no guarantee. So let's repeat that. There's no guarantee he's coming back next Saturday. That's just the earliest potential time he'll come back.
Every time that you see him interviewed, he's like, I feel great. What does that mean?
Well, if you can feel good, but you're just, it's his wrist. And so he's going to have to pass certain tests before he gets clearance. Just that's how it is.
Question 3. We've got CFL playoffs, NFL, college ball this weekend. What football game is on the top of your priority list?
This trick won't work on me, Connor. The top football game this weekend is the Blackhawks and Oilers game.
Oh, no, it's all day long. It's playoffs, man. CFL playoffs.
Oilers, baby.
No. CFL playoffs, and I'm going to say I think BC's going to win. The Montreal-Hamilton game, I think, is the one that's more intriguing to me, so I will take that.
Funny, both these games, identical records for the teams going head-to-head.
Yeah, 10-8, and 11-7, 11-7. So, yeah, should be on paper 2 good games.
All right, question number 4. Since it is Halloween, who is the scariest villain in the horror movie genre?
I saw the movie Alien when I was like 6 with my cousins, and I was not ready emotionally or mentally for what I was about to see. That level of science fiction was over my pay grade. It scared me so bad. It's still scary to this day.
Ooh, that's a good question. I might go with Hannibal Lecter. Cannibalistic serial killer psychologist who could get into the mind of his victims.
Connor?
Man, Mr. Boogie from Sinister is always a good one, but I think Freddy Krueger. In your dreams, what do you do?
You're a horror fan, right?
Yeah, I do like the genre, yeah.
Whew.
I mean, you go Michael, it's classic, but Freddy Krueger, man, that guy, he's playing dirty.
What about Norman Bates?
Well,
Psycho. He lived up to his name.
One-on-one, I think I could take Norman Bates.
Scariest character, Peter Chiarelli. Scared the heck out of me a few years in a row.
What about Jigsaw from Saw, Cons?
Yeah, he works in mysterious ways, doesn't he?
Yeah.
If you watch Saw for entertainment, I think you need to go and check out like a doctor of some sort, because normal people shouldn't be excited to watch Saw.
To me, Saw is on the level of Paranormal Activity. That's not my thing. So I guess I'm normal.
What's Paranormal Activity?
It's just like jump scares and ghosts and such, hauntings, demonic possessions potentially.
No.
It's a franchise. Final question, a little more happier. Kids hitting the street tonight, be safe, watch out for them. In your opinion, what are the top 3 things you can get in your bucket, bag, sack, whatever it is on Halloween?
Ooh. Peanut M&Ms, Reese's Pieces. Shout out to Halloween pub crawls, because that used to be the best on Halloween. Halloween pub crawls.
Actually, you know what? I used to organize a few pub crawls. I organized some single pub crawls, so it was only single people. And I can say that there's 4 couples who got married from our singles pub crawls over the years.
We used to do pub crawls too on Halloween, and it was always just chaos.
Yeah, ours are never on Halloween, but they were super fun. Best thing in the that is a really good question, Cons. I am going to say I just like the small Kit Kats. Simple, easy, so good. They don't make a mess. I like Is it now for me? Like which ones I can rate on my son, although he's not going. So I was kind of bugging him. I'm like, so I don't get any candy? It's just a real ripoff for me, but not that I need it. But when I was a kid, and actually even now, those little square caramels that come in the plastic wrap and it's just a little square, God, they're unreal. I used to love those as a kid. Never had them like anytime. It's like they only seem to come out at Halloween. And so I love those. And the last one I would say is, I don't like the full-size chocolate bar that much, but the Twix, little small Twix, big fan of. So
Elite.
I'm going to go with the mini Twix. Cons?
I'm going to go as a kid, and we didn't get this often. I know some people will bring up the weight, but I love getting a can of Coke or whatever the pop was. It did make your bag a little heavier, but that's okay. Builds character. Second, as a kid, O. Henry, I loved. And
Really?
I loved, like, it didn't matter what it was. Fuzzy Peaches, Cherry Blasters, or Sour Patch Kids. Any of that brand of sours, the best.
Yeah, you know what? Sours are pretty good. Yeah, I can get on board with that. So
when you return from trick-or-treating, would you lay it all out on the floor and like do an inspection? You ever do that as a kid?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you'd lay it on the floor because then you would kind of put it into, because there's always things I didn't like as a kid. And those brown and orange wrap candy, like molasses. Oh, and my dad loved them. So, you go in there, and we used to get bags of sunflower seeds too when I was a kid. And so he liked those, right? He liked popcorn. I was never a huge popcorn fan. So anything popcorn, I would make it. And so he would take it. So yeah, I used to always, even my son, you split out because then sometimes you'd organize like, how many Kit Kats did I get? How many of this? Oh, that was some of the best parts of the trick-or-treating was the organizing after the trick-or-treating.
That's how my dad explained taxes to my sister and I when we were little kids.
Oh,
we'd lay it all out and you just come take it. This is what tax is. This is what tax is.
Oh, that's pretty, that's too funny. So I like it. Oh, very funny. Cons, what is little Benny going as for Halloween today?
He's going as a cow.
Ooh.
Doesn't quite have mooing down, but he can go ooh.
What Benny is what? How many months old?
His birthday's tomorrow. 1 year.
It's 1 year tomorrow?
Yeah, Ashley and I love Halloween, and
because now you'll never forget it.
So long till Halloween. Yeah. Well, we'll never forget it. I hope not anyways. But yeah. Now we can do Halloween themed birthday.
So he's the big one. So wait till he's about 3. That's because that's when you can take him out. Like at 1, you probably go see grandma and grandpa, maybe aunts and uncles and stuff like that, or maybe a few neighbors. When he's 2 or 3, maybe go to 1 or 2 houses. But man, from 3 to 6, God, they have some of like the cutest costumes ever.
I don't know if there'll be bars in the future, Connor, but I'll tell you what, that's a great birthday to have.
November.
Every year on Halloween and your birthday at midnight.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, that is actually a really good call.
Elite.
Yeah, that's true.
Our boy Rick from the Pine, his birthday is St. Patrick's Day.
Ooh.
Elite. Because there's a built-in party every year.
Everybody's like, geez, Rick's birthday. Hey,
Yeah.
you guys all came for me. Oh, is it St. Patty's Day? No, it's St. Ricky Day.
St. Rick's Day. That's what we always say.
I'd have been all over that for sure. That is fantastic. I like it. Coming up, we got Spec. We also have LT. Got a lot of texts coming in, 833-401-1440. Hey, guys, Mini O'Henry's and Skittles. Oh, those little small Skittles bags. Yeah. Till I read what was in Skittles, I can't eat Skittles anymore.
That's what happened to me too.
Yeah,
Now.
I can't do it. I'm like, this is like the worst thing I can put in my body. I'm out.
But we don't have the red dye though.
Yeah, but I don't, I'm like, not that I should have known, but yeah, it's kind of funny as you get older, you're just like, you know what? I'll have a sweet, but not one that's like the worst sweet for me. So kind of out. Guys, I can't believe none of you said bags of chips. Those are the best from Peter. Yeah, chips aren't right. Like, nowadays, they have like small bags of chips. When you open it, there's like 8 chips in it, which is probably good because the kid thinks he's getting lost. But it's like, hey, you can get 1 bag of chips tonight. It's like 8 chips. Perfect. So, hey, guys, the worst was getting homemade bags of popcorn. Oh, yeah, we could talk about some people used to give out apples when I was a kid. And you're just like, what? God, like, what are you doing? Don't put your health thoughts into my bag. Like, I'm not going to eat an apple. I always thought that was the worst.
There was weird old people in our neighborhood growing up, and they always gave like box of raisins. Like what?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
I never minded raisins. I didn't love them. Like they definitely weren't in the top 10 part of my list, but I didn't hate them. So I'd mix them in every now and then. But yeah, but I found sometimes those boxes, like I'm always like, how old are these things? Because you don't open some of them, or it's just like chipping your tooth. So you're like, okay, these are going out.
But if you're giving away raisins, that's for you. That's not for the kids.
Hey guys, Warwick Davis and Leprechaun. He almost killed Jennifer Aniston. Scariest from Oddball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey guys, what about the Disney animated Headless Horseman movie? Still scares me to this day, from Doug. That was not
on
real.
his back legs.
Yes. Oh God, the old days of the Headless Horseman. He was fantastic. Fantastic. Hey Greg said, do you hand out any gifts for parents? You know, funny enough, yes. This year I have Jello shots in my house for any of the parents, because we had lots of leftovers from a party recently. So I kept them all cool in the cooler. And so, yeah, I'll be handing those out tonight.
Now, I don't want to sound like a snitch, but is that legal?
Well, why not?
Is there booze in the shots?
Well, dude, it's not like I'm giving him 10. It's a Jello shot. Like, I don't know, it might have a half an ounce in it.
Like I said, I'm no snitch. Live your life.
What's wrong with it?
You're
You're saying I can't give out alcohol?
Well, I don't know. Can you? Are you getting
They're
IDs?
walking. They're not driving.
Are you sure it's not a little kid with a fake Halloween beard you're giving that shot to?
I'm pretty sure I know the difference between an adult and a child. Okay. I'm not Donald Trump. Anyway, 5:02. Let's take a quick break. We'll return and see a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Let's get to the Con Man and Sports 1440 update, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home to no payments, no interest for 1 year on your furnace. Stay warm all winter. LegacyHeating.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game 6 of the World Series tonight from Toronto. Jays up in the series 3-2 over the Dodgers. They'll send Kevin Gausman to the mound. LA countering with Yoshi Yamamoto. That one gets going just after 6 o'clock. We'll have it for you here on Sports 1440 radio feed only on the ice. Just 3 games today already. The Avs get past the Golden Knights 4-2. Coming up in a few minutes, Caps host the Islanders, and at 8 o'clock the Red Wings in Anaheim taking on the Ducks in the Association NBA Cup group play. Raptors in Cleveland taking on the Caps. Tip off at 5:30. You also have the Celtics and Pacers. Bulls host the Knicks. Lakers in Memphis. Blazers host the Nuggets, and the Pelicans in LA taking on the Clippers in the BCHL. Spruce Grove in Blackfall, with the Crew hosting Okotoks. Both those games starting at 7 in the AJ. You've got 4 games, including the Bobcats hosting the Thunder and Whiteport in Fort Mac. At the collegiate level, Golden Bears hockey in Langley taking on Trinity Western tonight and tomorrow. Canada's hosting Trinity down at the Drake, 7 tonight, 5 tomorrow. And for McEwen, they'll host the Dinos of the DCA. Puck drop at 7 o'clock. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and Alan Mitchell, host of The Lowdown with Low Tide. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Sure, your couch is comfortable, but watching the game is always better and on the rocks. With crystal clear TVs, you won't miss a single play, and the specials are a major league win. Pre-game warm-up starts with specials 30 minutes before the puck drops. Get 69-cent wings and $5.75 Molson Canadian and Coors Light drafts. And play score and win every game for your chance to win big. Be part of the action this hockey season. See the menu online at ontherocksyeg.com.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management.
Okay.
Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
I'm Gene Principe for Legacy Heating and Cooling. If you need a furnace this Halloween, it'd be a grave mistake not to.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Need repair? Revampire your furnace. Just pop.
Call Legacy.
Legacy has a skeleton of furnaces in stock.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Plus, no interest and no prints of payments for 1 year when you buy with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada. Properties include the Spruce Grove Saint, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility in Nisku, features 2 sheets of ice, a 1,600-seat arena, as well as Summit Restaurant. Learn more at silentice.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 5 o'clock, we are exactly 1 hour away from first pitch, which you can listen to right here on Sports 1440. The Blue Jays and the Dodgers, Game 6. Maybe you're driving around the kids for trick or treating tonight. Well, guess what? You can listen to the game. Right? You can be the hero dad, which is gay. Fatherhood, motherhood. Trust me, your kids, they will always remember Halloween. And they won't, and they'll definitely never forget if you decide not to take them to watch the game. That would not be a great childhood memory. So, you know what? I can tell you, I got through it successfully. Coaching hockey, didn't see the game, recorded it, came home, watched it like it was live. It was still just as exciting. So you can do that if you like. We'll see, but or just listen to it right here on Sports 1440. Because you know what? When it's on radio, my son listened to his first game ever on the radio the other day. And quite liked it. He's like, Dad, I really got to imagine what's going on. I'm like, yeah, that's the power of radio when you're doing play-by-play. It's awesome. I love it. So you can check it out after the conclusion of our game, or our show here tonight. It is the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game, casino, live dealer, lottery, instance, sports, you name it. They got it all in one place, online at sports1440.ca, or get the app, even easier to maneuver. As we get to the spec report now, brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists. Whether it's running water in your neighborhood or the paved freeway to get you to and from home, they help start it and help keep it maintained. GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists. As Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. Spec, how you doing?
Pump, man, I'm pumped. Let's go. I'm ready for this ball game.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised you didn't want to come on today with that mask you're wearing. So it's unfortunate. But let's get to the you're not wearing a mask. My apologies. Sorry about that. Let's get to the game last night, Spec. It was there was a few tricks that the Oilers did to themselves last night that did not end well for number 2 for the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, they're Bouchard's off to not a good start, right? We're 12 games in. I'm not sure he's played one start to finish that you loved. It's a bit of a shame. They had a bad first period against Utah, then they came out with a good second, good third. Came out against the Rangers, pretty good first, real good second. You thought, okay, there's 4 periods in a row here, right? Where maybe they've got something going. And then, boom, an implosion in the third period. Overtime goal. No one loved that much. I've been listening to you today, and I concur with you on Knobloch said in his post-game press conference that every player is accountable. I would take him to task on that. I've not seen any accountability in all the the season that Bouchard has had. He leads the team every day in ice time among defensemen. So I'm not sure he's been held accountable. And I didn't love seeing him on the ice in overtime, and neither did his goalie when he sat back and let Miller walk right down Main Street. So I would say to you that probably he should have been on the bench in overtime, don't you think?
Well, at some point, I think the reason why, if you're going to put him out there to start the power play, I get it. Like, whatever, you still do, like, hey, do I punish the team? What have you? Blah, blah, blah. There's lots of reasons for it. But afterwards, if you want to say, you know what, 3-on-3, no, then I can understand that argument for certain. I will say this, Spec. I think the leash is very short for Bouchard in the next game and the next few games here. Because if he just has one okay game and goes through it, because Utah, they played well. Like, that's the one game where I'd say I had no issue with Bouchard's game. That was probably his best game. But right after, he went back to doing what he did in Seattle and what he did in Long Island. And so that's a trend that if he plays well against Chicago, but then has the same, brain cramp against Dallas or St. Louis, I think the coach has to say, okay, I'm going to do to you what I did to Darnell Nurse, a little 6-7 minute reset.
It's something. I mean, just something. I sense it in the dressing room. Now, maybe my spidey senses are no good at all, but that's why I wrote what I wrote today. Is I really thought, guys in there are talking about we're giving too many pucks away and we're making too many mistakes, and we're not making it hard enough for the other team. And I think they all know who they're talking about on a lot of occasions. And even inside a dressing room, those guys all love each other, and those guys all respect each other's games, and everyone wants Bouchard to do well. But don't think that those guys aren't driving home from the rink in their car just like a fan going, come on, Bouch, will you put your game together here? Holy man, like, what's it going to take? So, yeah, I would say that everybody, not just the fans, wouldn't mind seeing number 2's game come around here.
Oh, God, yes. It sooner rather than later would be nice. For him and really the whole team, Spec, like, enough's enough with, it's early and this is who we are, blah, blah, blah. Well, at some point, how about that isn't who you are and you're not a team that's giving away points early in a season?
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Like, okay, you had a tough start. Now every team is a sum of all the individuals. And, when you're like, listen, Bouchard's their best defenseman. He plays the most minutes. He's the highest paid. He's their number one, right? If McDavid stinks, the team has a hard time winning.
Yep.
And when Bouchard is not very good, and he hasn't been for 12 games, it's hard to win because he's got the puck so much and he's on the ice. Your team is built to have Evan Bouchard be your leader on the blue line. That's why you're paying him so much, because he's that guy.
Yep.
So he's got to start to play like that guy. Like, Jason, you got the 5 o'clock slot on this radio station. If you don't do the job and your show sucks, the station goes broke, right? That's just how life works. So it's the same with Bouchard. He stepped into those shoes. He's comfortable in those shoes. Well, you got to wear the damn shoes, and you got to provide in those shoes, right?
Yeah, no, 100% that they need to be better, no question. And we'll see. They take on a Chicago team that's got a lot of inexperience on the back end, Spec. My goodness, if you can't find lots of scoring chances tomorrow night, there's some problems. I think Edmonton's got to find a way to bounce back, get a win before they go out to play two desperate teams, I would think, in St. Louis and Dallas. Looking to the World Series tonight, it's Game 6. It's we know the lineups. The Dodgers have switched things around a little bit as they've moved Betts down again. He's now going to be in the cleanup spot, which is rare. Like, because you used to, hey, cleanup's your big hitter and everything. And nowadays, some of your best hitters are 1, 2, 3. So, your leadoff guy used to be just a leadoff guy who would get on base unless he was Ricky Henderson. And now your leadoff guy in the case of the Dodgers is Shohei Ohtani, right? And I get it because the guy's going to get the most at-bats in theory. So they do it. Mookie Betts, we'll see if he can get out of his funk. The Jays right now got a lot of guys hitting. Now they're going up against a guy who they had 17 swings and misses against him. Like, you can be patient with him, Spec, but I don't think you can be too patient, because if you just take the first strike every time, he's going to paint the corners on you. This guy, he's got, 7 pitches he can throw if he wants. He's a very accurate pitcher. The Jays have to find that right balance of being aggressive at the right time here tonight. And when they do get runners on base, they got to cash in, especially if it's early in the game.
Yeah, if listen, if you get a pitcher who throws first pitch strikes a lot, and I mean, I think every pitcher plans on throwing the first pitch strike.
Yes.
But as the game wears on, some guys they hit the strike zone on the first pitch, other guys don't. But I'm here to tell you, when you get a guy that's showing you now after an inning or two that he's throwing first pitch strikes, you're a fool if you're going up there taking a pitch. What are you taking? You're taking a strike.
Yeah.
You know, what are you taking a pitch for when he's throwing a first pitch strike to everybody? So be aggressive. Like, come at this guy. Don't show him too much respect. Yeah, he threw a couple of complete games. Good for you. That was in the past. Like, make him earn it tonight, man. You know, get after this guy. Don't show him too much reverence or respect or make it seem like, you know, we don't think we can get the job done against them. I don't believe in that one bit.
Yeah, and the Jays haven't really done that, right? Like, I think they'll come out, like, look at how they came out against Blake Snell, right? Davis Schneider, first pitch, bomb, right? They went right after him early on. And I know afterwards he said, I was a little bit unlucky. And it probably was maybe a little unlucky on the triple to Varsho when you consider it as a flare that bounced and turns into a triple. It wasn't necessarily a bad pitch by any stretch, but it was huge because it gave him that extra run, which turned out to be massive at that stage. But you look at the Jays and Springer's back in spec. He's leading off. You know, you got Bichette, you got Lucas, you got Barger, who's played unreal in this series. Like, man, I like a lot about the Jays tonight. And I have a sense that I think they're going to finish it off.
I feel the same way. I think the Blue Jays are the better team. They have been in this series the better team. The only thing that can change for me is, you know, like this transcends sports for me, Jason. Are the LA Dodgers not hitting the ball because it's, you know, they're not hitting well, they're not performing, they're not getting the job done, or is that the Jays pitchers? We should credit them.
Yeah.
You know, what could turn for me is if Mookie Betts turns back into a Hall of Famer, if Freddie Freeman starts hitting the ball like we expect him to hit the ball, if Max Muncy gets to the plate and starts to hit the ball, he hasn't been hitting it very good. That to me is the difference. And again, maybe the Blue Jays are the reason for that. You know, I'm not telling you they're not, but that to me is the only change. I mean, it has to happen for the Dodgers. If their guys don't start to hit, it's over. They can't get by with all their best guys going over every night. So I hope they do one more night because I hope the Jays win tonight, Jay.
Oh, buddy, it'd be great to see, man. It's been a long time. I remember that very well where I was the last time the Jays won because it happened to be on my birthday. So tonight.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, tonight it was actually my 21st birthday, Spec. It was good times. It was a great time actually with lots of good buddies. We had lots of laughs about it. So
surprised you remember it.
Well, I remember the game, Spec. Like I said, the game ended early, if you can recall. So after that, yeah, it was a little bit. I remember bits and pieces later on, but I definitely remember the game itself. That was the Joe Carter home run for that time was one of the more epic sporting moments that I recall as a fan. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. You're not going to get like they said, you're not going to hit a bigger one than that, Joe. And he never did. Like, it's impossible to match that. So we'll see. You got so Spec, I've been asking who is going to be the big moment guy tonight for the Toronto Blue Jays?
I think the big moment guy, I think it's going to end the way we expect it to end. I think Vladdy will be the big moment guy. That's what I think. I think Vladdy's, we'll see him hit something big in about the 7th or 8th inning that closes it off. And I think Hoffman gets his final pitching assignment of the season. And you know what? You're a different team when your closer's got confidence. Yeah. And right now, after not a great season and a little bit of ins and outs here, I think Hoffman's been really good here in the playoffs. He's got confidence. Yeah. That makes a huge difference for me.
Yeah, he has been very good. Lastly, to the orders, would you make some lineup changes for tomorrow night?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think you had the Rangers in the bag. You had a good lineup. You know, I don't mind their lineup. I don't mind. Sure, it should Noah Philp come back in at some point. Yeah, absolutely. Like I heard you earlier, and I agree that he doesn't deserve shit out this long. I think he's been having a good season when they've been playing him.
Yeah.
So if you want to put him in, that's fine. I don't mind that. I don't know why we all of a sudden got enamored with 11-7 here. So, yes, I would put Philp back in, I guess, if you're asking me. But I don't think there's anything wrong with this lineup. It's the guys in the lineup that are playing. I mean, the guys that you would never take out are the guys that have to play better here, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. I want to leave you with this spec from Jeff on the farm. The boys are saying we're making too many penalties, 2 being the number. From Jeff. So, so wordsmith there, Jeff. Gene Principe would very much like that one.
There you go, baby.
Yeah, and it's true. It is very true. Spec, enjoy the game and enjoy. Do you got any kids coming up where you live? You get any kids for trick-or-treating or what?
Not really. I used to live in a place in St. Albert where we had about 140 kids a night. But I'll be at the lake tonight. There won't be any kids out there. The only kids will be the guys I over to watch the ball game.
So they'll show up and, hey, trick or treat, here, shot or drink. So there you go.
They'll be stealing all my beers.
Exactly it's good for you to get off your wallet and get them some. So that's nice. And awesome. Well, have fun, Spec. We'll talk to you Monday.
All right, man.
That's the Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction. Will return. LT will be by. We are less than an hour away from first pitch. By the way, people are wondering about the orders. Zach Hyman, they just had an optional skate today, so it was quite optional. To be honest, it was basically your guys who don't play as many minutes, except Wallman. Wallman's on there because I talked about it yesterday. I think Wallman's still trying to get up to speed. Not that it was a hard practice, but you had guys like Savoy, Frederick, Howard, Tomasic, Philp, Jan Mark Lazar. Zach Hyman was on the ice, in case you're wondering. Wallman, Emerson, Stetcher, Calvin Pickard. Those were most of the players on the ice today for the Edmonton Oilers in an optional skate. We'll return to Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Weekends were made for Oil Kings hockey at Rogers Place.
Tomorrow in Ice District, kids take over as your Edmonton Oil Kings face off with the Medicine Hat Tigers at an early 2 p.m. puck drop.
Where kids will be taking over some of the biggest roles needed to run an Oil Kings game.
And at every home game, score Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less. The value is king-sized.
Edmonton Oil Kings, Medicine Hat Tigers, kids take over tomorrow at 2.
Great family entertainment at Rogers Place starts at just $20 a seat. Save on day of game pricing now at oilkings.ca.
Whoa, who turned off all the lights?
Experience the new charcoal menu at Booster Juice.
Charcoal menu?
Introducing the Eclipse Smoothie, Blackout Booster Mixer, and Midnight Booster Ball.
Where's that voice coming from?
Dark and delicious, made with activated charcoal.
Can we please turn the lights back on?
Sorry, I'm just excited about the new charcoal menu.
Wow, that is good.
Right? Available now, only at Booster Juice.
Carve out for a cause at the Jason Gregor Pizza Pig Out, presented by GS Construction. Thursday, November 6th at the Canadian Ice House, indulge in unlimited pizza from amazing local pizzerias while you help raise some dough for kids' sport. Then vote for your favorite slice to help crown the People's Choice Award winners. Tickets to join Edmonton's biggest and best adult pizza party are just $30. Head to jasongregorpizzapigout.com for more details and to buy tickets.
Since 1971, the Brick has been committed to saving you more. Right now, hurry in to save up to $1,000 off sofas and sectionals, up to 40% off mattresses, and up to 35% off furniture. Plus, buy any 3 select major appliances and save 15% off. And if you find a lower price before the end of the year, including Black Friday and Boxing Day, we'll refund the difference. Some exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
It's a new season, Edmonton, which means it's time for new offers. Play Alberta is offering odds boosts on every Oilers game all season long. This is your chance to score big. And for a limited time only, our listeners can get an exclusive $50 free bet when they deposit $50 using code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for an exclusive $50 free bet. Alberta wins with Play Alberta. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, please use your game sense. PlayAlberta.ca.
Winter in Alberta doesn't mess around.
And neither does Titan Supply.
For over 50 years, we've earned the trust of our customers across a variety of industries.
Because we lead with integrity,
honesty,
and respect.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Brent from Titan Supply. When the weather hits hard,
we're fully stocked with rigging, lifting, and hauling gear that works as hard as you do.
Titan Supply.
Built on trust, driven by safety.
Serving Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary.
Let us help you face the weather the Titan way.
Visit TitanSupply.ca.
Don't let scary high prices haunt you this October.
At Nisku Ford, we treat you like family, which means no tricks, just treats. Come find a frighteningly good deal on a brand new Ford.
All October, finance and lease rates are as low as 0%. Or maybe you prefer rebates as high as $10,000. The Nisku Ford family will always dig deeper to find the best deal for your family.
The coffee's on. Drive into Nisku Ford or visit niskuford.ca today. Above expectations.
When you've just got to get your pigskin fix in, it's Game On! Game On is Sherwood Park's new home for game night and good times. Every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday, Game On wants to see you cheer on your favorite American football teams with 40-plus TVs to watch. You can enjoy $7 pints of Molson and Miller Lite, as well as $7 dry ribs. Get your squad together and book a table online at GameOnSP.ca. Are you ready for some football? Then it's Game On! Game On Kitchen, Sports Bar, Arcade, Baseline Road, Sherwood Park.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Get the Gregor special. Enjoy 20% off any regular menu price order. Enter promo code Gregor at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
Pro sports, local sports, minor leagues, you got it all. It's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$5:27. Welcome back. Positive Friday. It's Halloween. Remember, as you make your way home through the residential areas, please slow down. The kids are going to be jazzed up. They're excited. You remember that feeling as a kid. You're just like, who came up with this glorious holiday? I just get to dress up and look like a cool person and I get free candy. What? This is unreal. So sometimes your brain doesn't function as well. And maybe they'll be running across the street, not looking both ways. So we get to be the adults more than ever tonight and be super slow and safe. And always try to remember how you felt as a kid on Halloween and hopefully have good, fond memories of it and let them, regardless of age, if it's teenagers, put a smile on your face. Hey, good for you to trick or treat. Awesome. Because you know what? If they're trick or treating, they're not getting in trouble. So that's a good, and you know what? Not to be too jaded, but I think we all know as you get older, life isn't as fun as it was when you were trick or treating. It was a good time, man. Like I could still remember, man, like pillowcase was in my bag and you go around. We lived in a huge cul-de-sac and not cul-de-sac, but yeah, like a huge U-shaped crescent. And you go on the outside all the way around, come in, empty my bag, go on the inside all the way around. Like there was probably close to 50 houses maybe on each side. If I did the inner ring obviously had a few or less than the outer ring, but God, was so fun. And that was just one. And we went on many, man, like could trick or treat for hours. Remember like filling up my whole bottom dresser drawer of candy. Just nuts. So
a lot of volume.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. Like, and then, no, I gave, to my dad and my mom liked licorice. That was about it. She didn't eat much candy, but so, we shared it. And
how long till that was all gone?
Oh yeah, I wasn't the great. Like, that's why I marveled at my son. Like my son could keep his candy and he would have one a day and then he would forget. And it was in his closet. And like 6 months later, he's never finished all his Halloween candy ever. And you know what? He doesn't keep he doesn't like candy. So he only keeps the chips and the chocolate bars. That's really it. And he's never finished. He's actually not going trick or treating this year. He told me a few weeks ago he wasn't sure he wanted to. He just doesn't really love it. And he's like, Dad, I don't need all the candy. And now that it's a Jays game, he's like, well, I'm definitely not going. So
if you don't like candy, trick or treating is maybe not the best use of your time.
But I did tell him because in previous years when we had too many, there are some addiction places that when people are coming off of addiction, they're trying to get off of it instead because they're trying to get off drugs and stuff. A lot of those places that give them sweets because just it's a way to handle it better. And so I've dropped off bags before at those places. So if you end up with too much, don't just throw it away. Keep that in mind. So there are places that people will put it to good use because it's going to help some people that are in recovery. So there you go. Let's go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical, 53 years. They're one of the most diversified electrical contractors in Alberta, and they keep growing. Blake and his gang keep growing, and guess what? They need more people, which is a good problem to have. second, third, and fourth year electricians. You're looking for a great company who loves sports and loves an opportunity to help you grow and develop. Send your resume careers@actionelectrical.net. As we welcome in the host of The Lowdown, noon until 2, Alan Mitchell joins us. LT, how you doing?
I'm good. Those Halloween memories that you had. I remember when I was a kid growing up in rural Saskatchewan, 17 miles north of Maidstone. You'd start trick-or-treating. You had to walk 12 miles to the next neighbor, But, sometimes they wouldn't be home. Now a little disappointed, but it's only 22 more miles to the other neighbor. It was quite a lot of fun.
Well, I remember we rode horseback one year as a kid, trick-or-treating. Like my mom was on the horse and I was on the back, and that's how we went. It was unreal. Because you go through the neighbor's house pretty quick.
So people gave candy to you and then like an apple to the horse.
Yeah, well, trust me, Vin, I'll tell you right now, I don't ever recall getting an apple from farm people. They know better. You don't give apples. Like, trust me, we grow a lot of the stuff, but on Halloween Day, it's for the kids. It's candy and chips.
These are these fancy farmers, LT, that had horses, right? It's ridiculous.
I just feel like if somebody shows up with a horse, you want to feed the horse a little bit, just to spoil the animal.
Yeah, well, usually my mom would save the horse at the top of the driveway, and I would just get off and run to the house. We only did it once. I do remember doing it one year with my mom.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, cool. It was fun. So, and it's funny. Like I grew up on a farm, but I was never like a big horse. I didn't do gymkhana. My brother did that. I was just never. I tried to herd on horseback once. Almost got decapitated. So had a few choice words with the horse in the bush. And after that, I'm like, I think I'm better on my feet. So I could always ride a horse, but never necessarily great. My nephews still laugh about. We had like this pony that they got, and they were older, and they're all nervous to get on. I'm like, well, I'm not scared of any horse. I'm just get on the thing. Don't worry, it's not going to buck. And I jumped on it, kind of startled it. Buck once, twice. Here's Uncle Jay doing a backflip off the back end. And my nephews, and I kind of landed it, right? So, and didn't want to scare him. I was just like, see, boys, look, it's not going to hurt, right? But my brother's trying not to fall over laughing. So that was.
Oh, that's funny stuff.
Extent of my horse riding now. The orders they were getting bucked off at times through some own self-mutilation. Evan Bouchard's struggles continue.
Yeah, it's and he's so talented. I'm a big fan of Evan Bouchard, and his floor and his ceiling are wide apart, and I think he might be struggling with the contract, honestly, because he's such a brilliant player, great puck mover. He's really struggled, and Nurse had the previous night, and people are still hammering Skinner, and maybe the friendly fire was a big reason why they lost last night. But I still believe in Evan Bouchard. I'm not going to say I don't. But I do wonder here, and I have no doubt he's been brilliant in the last two playoffs. I get it. I understand. But I do wonder here if maybe he's fighting it a little bit, trying to do too much under the weight of that contract. And that might be part of it. But, I think this is the best defense they've had, guys, in years. Honestly, I do. And it'll turn around and get better. But the coaching staff's got to work towards, and I didn't like the overtime goal. Leon missed, he went to try to intercept the pass, didn't work. But I really felt Bouchard needed to aggressively pursue Miller and make him make a play. Sure, if you pass it over perfectly, it's going to be a breakaway. But you're 3-on-3. That's man on man. You forced the play, and I felt like he was too passive there.
Yeah, well, he was too passive. Then Draisaitl, even like Draisaitl was closer. And then they both pulled away from Miller at the last minute, which I didn't understand. I agree. Well, really, I thought the game changed in the third period when the Oilers went on the power play and decided to give up 2 consecutive 2-on-1s because it just got outworked. And that really seemed, even though the Rangers didn't score there, that really seemed to give them life.
Yeah, and like the Rangers are not they're not having a fantastic start, but they have talent on that team. Oh my, they've got guys in their 30s who are maybe underperforming a little bit. They got a really good goaltender, so it's not like they lost to the Sisters of the Poor or anything. But it's a disappointing way to watch a point slide away.
Yes, no question about it. Would you make any lineup changes for tomorrow?
I don't know. I really like Savoy had an issue today. Apparently, I don't know his situation. I like the group. 11-7. I'm not a huge fan of, and I really would like to see Noah Philp in there. But I understand why they're kind of they want him on the penalty kill, face-offs. But I'd like to see Noah Philp in if they're going to make any move and maybe run 12-6.
Oh God, I think that's the move for sure. Like, no, you got to play Noah Philp. Like, I don't think Troy Stetcher has to play that much, at this stage. And I get why they're playing 7 D-men. I think at times, like I watch Jake Wallman's not up to speed yet. I think that's clear. You watch it, like when he was healthy, he was pulling away from guys. That one move of his, he would come short side of the net and gone. And his first few steps, he would explode away from guys. And I know he wasn't able to train how he wanted to in the offseason with dealing with that rehab and the injury and stuff. And then a little bit of a, aggravated something else in training camp. So he's kind of playing catch up there. And I do watch him, like he doesn't have his breakaway speed right now.
Yeah. And it's, we're going to see the same thing with Hyman. I guarantee it. We're all going to hope that Hyman comes back and hits the ground running, but it's been a while. And so, these are the things that you invest the time in Wallman because he's going to be there.
Yes,
when it's important. So these are things that you just accept if you're a team or a fan of a team. And Wallman has shown what he can do. My Lord, he's a wonderful player. But there are some pains and early on where you're kind of still in training camp a little bit. And the guy who I thought has adjusted pretty well is Roslovic. He got signed I think on the 8th of October, and he's looking really good.
Yeah, he's getting better every game.
Yeah.
LT, what's your take on the Iceman over the last week?
I mean, you know what? I've said it before, and I'm just going to keep saying it because original thoughts don't occur to me very often. But I thought his worst games were the rookie games. After the rookie games, people were on my blog and commenting on the show. They were saying, man, this guy is years away. And I'm like, well, let's just let him show us what he is. And what he is a really smart player. He's making bounce passes off the boards. He's always in a good spot. He's an astute player. He's smart. He makes great plays. I love his 2 goals. This is a guy, I mean, I'm all in on the trade. I think they made a great trade. And I know they traded a right-handed center who's going to be a middle 6 center, not too terribly long from now. But skill is so hard to find, and goal scorers are really hard to find. And this is a guy who's going to score goals.
He is. I'd still like to see. He's not playing enough for me. I'd still like to see him go down. And I think it's just a matter of when Zach Hyman comes back, they're going to send him down. Unless there's another injury. But to me, I think his big term benefit is playing more minutes, and that'll help him. And maybe he comes back up later on. And it's not even a knock on him, Al. It's just more so. Like his minutes here in Edmonton aren't difference-making minutes. So why not play him where he can play big minutes and develop his game? So then when he does come up, he could make impactful minutes.
Yeah, and I think that you're right. I mean, who knows, with injuries and that sort of thing. I don't think he'll be down in the minors long because I think he's got that kind of talent. But he's got to make an impression. The Oilers have some, they've got some veteran wingers. They could run 3 lines all year that don't include Ike Howard. And on the 4th line, as you say, he's not going to get enough minutes. Now, it's his job to force his way up the depth chart.
Yes. And the only negative going for him is he's taking a few too many reach-in, tripping penalties.
Sure. And that happens when you're young.
Yeah. No, definitely. Switching over, Al, to the World Series tonight. How will you handle your trick-or-treaters during World Series, Al?
Well, I've got several, I bought some extras because there are going to be times when I'm going to have just a bucket out there with a smiley face saying, please take 2. But I know that when I'd walk 22 miles to a door, I would in 2. So I've got some extra supplies. I will be answering the door, but at times when Vladdy's up with the bases loaded, I might abandon the door.
That will make sense. I understand it. It's a fine balance. I think I just might move my TV into the living area so I can answer the door, but still see the TV at the same time.
See, that's a veteran move right there. Yeah. That is.
Yeah. So it's not a regular move, Al, but it'll work for a one-timer for
there
sure.
You go.
So I kind of joked. I'm looking forward to. What's your expectations tonight? How are they going to get to Yamamoto?
Well, before I say that, I love that you implied that you didn't have a TV in every room. Good veteran move there too, Gregor. I mean, I'm sure you've got one in the bathroom. You've got TVs all over the place.
Yeah. No, you know what, Al? I don't never have a TV in the bathroom. Come on. No.
So anyway, I think that the early part of this game is going to be key. If Yamamoto settles in, then they're going to have to win this late, 7, 8, 9. And you never know, but they, they were one key hit away from doing some damage early against Yamamoto. And, baseball's a weird sport. He's had 2 great starts in a row. And I don't know what the odds are of having 3, complete games in a row, but they can't be high. So he may rest a little bit in this game. And it's important that the Jays' bats are on fire. And so it's important that if they're first and second after, and 1 out in the first, they've got to get a run. And that's what the Expos had in 1981 in the Rick Monday game. And Andre Dawson hit a double play. Yeah. And then they only got 1 run out of that. You need to get that. You need to get something done in a big game like this, because if they get up early, they could crush the Dodgers.
Oh, well. That would, I'd like it to be later. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why. I just like a little bit of a late game. So that would be good.
18 innings, maybe?
No. Just like a late game, like 7, 8, like an 8th or 9th. That part would be good. So,
yeah. It's going to be a blast. Can't wait, man. Baseball in October is fantastic.
Yes. Oh, it is. It is like to get to Yamamoto is going to be hard, but I don't know. I just have a feeling tonight that the Jays, they've been a scrappy team all year long. They find ways to they've been the best hitting team in baseball. Like, let's call a spade a spade. They've had the most hits. They had the best average. They're the best hitting team in baseball. They've continued in the postseason now. And you got guys like Vladdy's playing great. Barger's been unreal. Like, you could make a legit case. Like, if you just look at their stats in the World Series, because it's different than the NHL. The NHL, the Conn Smythe is basically for the entire playoffs. The World Series MVP is only for the World Series.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
Yeah. And so if you look at the numbers, like, Barger's got the better numbers in those games, right? He's got the same amount of hits, but a higher average, higher OPP, higher slugging percentage, higher OPS. He's been unreal. And man, it's going to be it'll be awesome. I can't wait to see what happens. I don't really care who wins the MVP, but like right now, to me, it's Barger or Guerrero for the Jays. And if the Dodgers come back and win, Yamamoto, depending on what he does tonight, will be one. Obviously, Ohtani, because Ohtani's had the one big game, but really, like, he hit that home run late when it was 11-2. But in the other 2 losses, like, Ohtani did nothing.
Yeah, and that's the problem. I mean, Betts has been terrible.
Oh,
the Dodgers have had a lot of really high-paid players not play well. Yamamoto has played well. I've liked Freddie Freeman's game, although he, struck out twice against Savage. The one thing I'll say about Barger is, there are players who emerge in a season who end up having a substantial career afterwards, and they weren't at all famous beforehand. And I think Barger's that guy on the Jays. I think he's going to be a big-time player for them for years. I know he's a little older, but he's got it all. He's got a fairly complete game. He can hit. He's got a great arm, and he can do a lot of things. Barger has been extremely impressive to me, and I think he's going to be around for a long, long time. And I agree with you. I think he could win the MVP.
Yeah, for sure. Al, enjoy the game. Enjoy the weekend. We will chat with you on Monday.
All right. Be good, boys. Have a good one.
There you go. That's Al Mitchell, a.k.a. Low Tide, here on Sports 1440. We'll come back, wrap things up as we're getting closer to first pitch. You can listen to it right here on Sports 1440. It's the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Sure, your couch is comfortable, but watching the game is always better at On the Rocks. With crystal clear TVs, you won't miss a single play, and the specials are a major league win. Pre-game warm-up starts with specials 30 minutes before the puck drops. Get 69-cent wings and $5.75 Molson Canadian and Coors Light drafts, and play score and win every game for your chance to win big. Be part of the action this hockey season. See the menu online at ontherocksYEG.com.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 furnace replacement company for zombie hunters. Those who know their old decrepit furnace passed away years ago. Its decaying husk shuffling around now as the furnace. Legacy Heating will send your undead furnace to its grave, replacing it with no payments and no interest for 1 year. Protect your legacy from the beast in the basement. It's time to destroy the furnace of the dead. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk, family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
They are nice, tasting just so right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
He's a legend in the booth and a master on the mic. Low Tide brings the banter weekdays from noon to 2. Sports 1440 is where Edmonton talks sports. Get in the game. Text 833-401-1440.
I hear the train.
Backed by popular demand, Folsom Prison Revisited. The story of one of the greatest concerts in history returns to the Jubilee Auditorium November 27th. Step back in time before, during, and after this iconic Johnny Cash performance. You'll relive an event that changed the life of Johnny Cash and changed music forever. Tickets at Ticketmaster.ca and the Jubilee box office. Brought to you by Stars and Stories Live.
Prostate cancer affects 1 in 6 men in Alberta, and this November we're fighting back. Every dollar raised fuels early detection and life-saving support. Donate today for the men in our province. Visit keepitinalberta.ca to start your fundraiser or donate today.
Albertans celebrate a bounty of beautiful places to visit, boundless adventures to take, all in driving distance. And Sherwood Honda has the fuel-efficient vehicle that helps you go even further and appreciate more. Hybrid CRVs and Civics mean more thanks in your tanks, more great trips to be grateful for. And of course, Sherwood Honda is thankful for the chance to help you get there. It's a beautiful time of year, and it sure would be nice to hit the road with Sherwood Honda.
Portions of this hour brought to you by eWell. Get your power play amped up with eWell, supplying the City of Champions and Alberta with quality electrical gear since 1975. eWell.ca is your partner.
To kick off, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We roll back through the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. A big shout out to Gavin. Hey guys, what a perfect Friday! Opening hockey cards, listening to 1440, and giving out candy. Have a great weekend, fellas. From Gavin. That sounds like a good night, Gavin. I love it. Awesome. Thanks for listening. We very much appreciate it. Of course, right after the conclusion of our show, we will get to Blue Jays coverage. First pitch around 6:08 tonight. It's Gosman and Yamamoto. The Blue Jays lineup. No real surprises. George Springer is back in. That is good news for the Jays. He will be leading off. Lucas is batting second. Guerrero Jr., then Bichette, Varsho, Kirk, Barger, Clement, and Jimenez. The lineup. The Dodgers have changed their lineup a little bit, as they still have, of course, Shohei Ohtani batting leadoff, but Mookie Betts has moved down the lineup, as he will be batting fourth today. So they got Ohtani, Smith, and Freeman, then Betts, Teoscar Hernandez, Muncy, Kiki Hernandez, Edman, and Rojas. So a change in center field. They can't continue with the no-hitter from their center fielder. So Edman's good fielder, not as good. So we'll see. Is there a gapper that maybe falls with him there? We will find out. Wanye, what's on your mind?
Well, 7 short days ago, Gregor, we were sitting in these seats doing 5 questions, and we talked about the Oilers going 2-0 over the weekend, and they're 1-4 since then. So I know it's obviously early in the season.
1-3-1.
1-3-1 since then. 1 win in the time since.
That's not good.
Are you a believer that you don't start panicking till American Thanksgiving? Are you a believer that when you've come off back-to-back cup runs, you don't panic at all ever? Like, is there much that can happen in the first 6 weeks of the season that concerns you?
Well, when you look at how the Oilers are losing, like I said, like at some point early isn't the excuse, but you look at the Pacific Division, Edmonton has 13 points. Vegas lost today, so Vegas has 15. You're 2 points out of first place. Like Vegas has played 11 games, they've won 6. LA's played 12 games, they've won 5. Seattle's played 10 games, they've won 5. Edmonton's played 12 games, they've won 5. Vancouver's played 12, they've won 6. Like no one's playing great really in the Pacific Division right now. So that's the one saving grace. Now, on the other hand, you look and say, man, the Oilers have kind of blown some games here. They could easily be in first, forcing teams to chase them. Because eventually, I still believe for the Oilers, it would be nice for them to be the chaser, not the chasee. Always the one, they're always trying to play catch up. Maybe try to get out in front. So, we'll see kind of where it goes from here for them. But it's nothing, nothing to write home about. Like, I don't think the Seattle Kraken are that good. I really don't think the LA Kings are that crazy good either. Edmonton's got a lot of self-inflicted wounds. Do I think Evan Bouchard's going to have this many giveaways every second game? Well, I better not. I just think eventually he'll figure it out, like he has before, right? He's going to have efforts that question you every now and then, no doubt. But he's going to have to be better. There's no question. So.
I don't think that people understand the motivations of a guy sometimes who signs a contract that big, but it can have an impact on you. There are players who struggle when they sign big deals.
Yeah, maybe. I guess I look at, because we've had texts like this that come in and say, hey, Greggs, do you think not having Paul Coffey is why Bouchard's struggling? I'm like, well, did Bouchard struggle in the regular season in the last 2 years with giveaway turnovers? Yes. And Paul Coffey was here. So that's why I don't think that it's, due to Coffey not being here. I know people will look, okay, what's changed? Well, nothing's changed. Evan Bouchard frustrates you in the regular season. This is not new. It's happened pretty regularly. And I know it's happened here, Seattle game, the last game. And so you look, well, he didn't do that many. I don't know. We don't always remember it as bad, but I can tell you Evan Bouchard had nights where there was more than one giveaway that had you screaming, because I could go through the text line and find it. It happened. It's part of his repertoire for whatever reason. You'd like him to see him. He'll never eliminate it when you have the puck that much, but you'd like to see him reduce it. I think that's fair.
If heaven forbid the Blue Jays don't win tonight in Game 6 and everybody in Game 7 gets to come back for Game 7, is there a subset of Blue Jays fans that want 2 games in the World Series and would be pumped to see it?
Well, I don't think so, because you lose tonight. There's no guarantee. Like, no one's going to say, well, I guess if they said, hey, you'll get 2 games and it guarantees you win the second one, well, then they probably would. But even then they'd be like, well, why? Why would I want to feel the anger of losing Game 6? I don't think there's anybody out there. Well, think about it. Hey, the Oilers are up 3-2. Well, you can lose Game 6. And no, you're like, what are you talking about? I want to win.
Both in the same city, though. Come on now.
Yeah, but either then, doesn't guarantee you that you win, right? Because then any of the momentum you felt you had, well, now it's gone.
Close them out, Jays.
Oh, 100%.
Close them out.
They want to 1,000% win the game tonight. It's just, I think the Jays lose tonight, then suddenly there's way more pressure on them.
No doubt.
Yeah. So, we'll have to see what comes of it. So, it's not good if they lose tonight.
No, not at all.
But it's also, if they lose tonight, it's not over. All you got to do is, the Jays have to win 1 game.
2 kicks to the can.
Yeah, they have 2 if they need it, but they only need to win 1. And that's the difference, where the Dodgers have to win 2. So obviously the Jays have the advantage. If they lose tonight, then it just becomes a little bit harder. So we'll see where it goes. It's going to be rather interesting. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be very fun. For all of those who are out now, it's dark out, very close to it, trick or treating. Have fun, be respectful. Always, if you're going with your kids, I don't care what age. If they're older and they're respectful, I think most people will gladly give them candy. So have fun with that. On behalf of Wanye Gretz, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, hope you have yourselves a great weekend. If you missed any parts of the show, you can go to jasongregor.com or anywhere where you download your podcast, or even rewatch the entire show on YouTube. Here's a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet GMC and
Buick, where right now you can get 0%. What is 0%? Is it even a thing? Well, it is a thing right now at northgategm.com. Good night.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game 6 of the World Series set to go in just a moment's time here as the Dodgers take on the Jays. Jays leading that series 3-2 with a chance to close it out. Gosman and Yamamoto on the mound in that one. It was the Abs over the Golden Knights 4-2 in the first game of the NHL slate today. Islanders and Capitals tied 0-0 in their game. 3 games in the NBA. Hawks lead the Pacers 41-39. Celtics up big on the 76ers 55-35, and the Raps up in the Cavs 23-18 in the first. One game in the college football world right now sees 25th seed Memphis leading the Rice Owls 21-0 in the second quarter. And local sporting news around the city. We will see the Golden Bears hockey team in Langley taking on Trinity Western tonight and tomorrow. Pandas hockey hosts Trinity down at the Drake at 7. The McEwen men hosting the UFC Dinos at the DCA at 7. And the women in Calgary at 6. In the BCHL, Spruce Grove Saints in Blackfalds will the crew host Okotoks, both games starting at 7. And in the AJ, 4 games on the schedule, including the Bobcats hosting the Thunder and Whitecourt in Fort Mac. That's going to do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. On behalf of Jason Gregor, Wanye Gretz, and Connor Halley, I'm Declan Kruger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the